defensively, knock their ass back. Knock them back. Do your job. Stay in your gap. Keep great leverage on the back end, right? Keep it in front and inside. Tackle the catch. All right? Special teams. First play of offense, first play of defense. All right? First play of offense, first play of defense. Do your job. All right? Do your job. Let's say a prayer. Let's go.
Long-time defensive coach, assistant coach, defensive coordinator, Tim Lewis, his first head coaching bid here in the Alliance. We welcome you. It's the Alliance of American Football on TNT. This afternoon, the Salt Lake Stallions against the Iron of Birmingham, and the visiting team with their head coach, Dennis Erickson, taking the field in Birmingham. Great to have you with us, everybody. It's been about 20 years since we've had football on TNT. Great to be back. Brian Anderson, former coach of the year in the NFL, Marvin Lewis, former Pro Bowler 3 times, Maurice Jones-Drew. We are excited about this matchup. This is week 2 now, gentlemen. So put your NFL eyes on what you guys saw in week 1, what we may have advanced for us here week 2.
Well, there's a ton of talent on the field, guys. I mean, you got first rounders, second rounders, third rounders, but with the limited time to practice, great execution. I'm excited to see how guys are going to bounce back after a great first week, and will they continue to be able to perform at that type of level, Coach?
What I was impressed with is the fact of how these teams have been put together. The fact that they've gone in and tried to add personnel to fit the personality and the style of offense and defense that they want to come out here and show, and how impressive some of these teams were last weekend.
Well, look, all these guys want to try to get back to the NFL or even get a chance at the NFL, but week 1 in the books last week, all the home teams held serve. They went 4-0. Garrett Gilbert playing for Steve Spurrier. Not only did he throw for 3 touchdowns, he caught one as well. And then you have John Wolford, Arizona, threw for 4 touchdowns, had a huge week. But Marvin, I think the team that's making the most noise and most talked about maybe after week 1 is the Birmingham Iron and their quarterback, Luis Perez.
The quarterback did just an outstanding job last week in Luis Perez and how he played the game. They attacked on offense with Steve Logan as the coordinator, did a great job of being efficient with the football all throughout.
They pitched a shutout. They won the game against Mike Singletary's Memphis team 26-0, Coach. Both sides of the ball, they were as good as it gets.
There was. Tim Lewis has tried to install the Pittsburgh 3-4 that I was a part of back in the early 90s, going out and trying to add personnel that fit to that, and they did an outstanding job week 1 playing 3rd and 4th down particularly.
All right, MJD, you saw Salt Lake last week. Now, this is a team that's dealing with some injuries. Dennis Erickson has some receivers down. Also has Josh Woodrum down as starting quarterback. He's going with Austin Allen today, the backup.
Well, if I'm Austin Allen, I understand the opportunities are given, not earned, Coach. So in this situation, I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity and perform well. My advice to this young quarterback who's going to get his first professional start is don't turn the ball over. Coach Erickson on our call said if you don't turn the ball over, we have a great chance to win. I think that's going to be something you'll look forward to today.
Well, Austin Allen, the Arkansas Razorback, playing in Birmingham today. It's the first game of 4 in the weekend slate in the Alliance. You're watching the Alliance on TNT. First play coming up.
They're into the last 16 of the Champions League. We're on to another remarkable journey.
We're just getting started.
The Champions League is back.
Ain't no stopping now.
Oh, my word! Absolutely magnificent. Oh, what a hit! Sensational goal!
UEFA Champions League on TNT. Stream on BR Live.
Bow to the king.
I've been here 10,000 years. He's never addressed the whole company before. Is that God?
I've decided to blow up Earth. I guess that's it.
As employees of Heaven, Inc., it is our responsibility to keep Earth running smoothly.
Earth is in big trouble. It is a mess.
We need a miracle.
We gotta do something.
Let's do this.
Sorry, did you just put those glasses on just so you could take them off?
Guys, God's gonna destroy Earth unless we work together. Who wants to help me save this planet?
God, just to be clear, you want to destroy the entire world and kill everyone.
Yeah, but we have something bigger to discuss. My next thing.
Is it a new planet?
This here is a restaurant.
What?
Miracle Workers, all new Tuesdays at 10:30 on TBS and the app.
It is Alliance football. We have the first snap of the weekend coming up in just a few minutes. Live at Rice Eccles Stadium in Salt Lake City, Luis Perez looking to continue on an awesome first week. And a new quarterback, Austin Allen, playing today for the Salt Lake Stallions under Dennis Erickson. Welcome, everyone, into the Alliance All Access studio. I'm Alex Flanagan, along with Cynthia Freeland. To my right here and to my left, I've got two Hall of Famers today, Rod Woodson and Terrell Davis. Gentlemen, thank you for being here. Yes, and thank you for everyone to watching football on TNT. It's an exciting moment. So, Rod, let's break down this game a little bit. What are you looking for?
You think about the Iron last week, 26-0. They had a shutout. It's hard to get a shutout on Pop Warner, TD.
Yeah.
So getting a shutout, Jonathan Masquoi had 10 total tackles, 2 sacks. Jamar Summers had an interception. They played extremely well. Can they have a repeat performance in week 2?
I'm looking Salt Lake Stallions defense last week against John Woodrow. They had a big day, and they didn't come to play. So this week, who they have? Luis Perez coming down. Last week, good game by him. Last week, they gave up 416 yards. That's more than any other team, and 0 takeaways. Better performance this week.
Luis Perez really has been a great story in this league. Was a semi-professional bowler, taught himself the game on YouTube, and really just came out and it turned so many heads last week. Cynthia, you've had a little bit of time to break down the numbers, to do some analysis. Yes, and I know that gives you enough. So what are you predicting?
Well, listen, I think it's going to be about a 25-16 game in this matchup. The defense really is dominant. That Birmingham defense, the Iron defense, really drives a lower scoring game overall. But with all this homework that I've done, we do have some idea of how high scoring the league's going to be. So this is going to be one of the lower scoring games of the weekend. And we have another second game for you guys later on this evening. It'll be on the NFL Network. It is the Arizona Hotshots taking on the Memphis Express. Exciting day of football scheduled for you. We send it back out to Brian Anderson now in Birmingham.
Okay, thank you, Alex. Looking forward to hearing from you guys all afternoon. 2 games on the slate today. We're ready to get it started here in Birmingham. And Maurice, how about we take a look at the keys to the game? They are brought to you by At Home. What do you have?
Well, for Salt Lake, you have to establish a run with a new quarterback. We have to get going. You have to stay ahead of the chains. Run a little bit better than 29 carries for 88 yards. You want to look at that 140-yard marker. Then for the Iron, just build off last week. You played such a great game, a complete game. Defense got a shutout. Offensively, you had some explosive plays. Very, very exciting. Continue to do that.
Salt Lake losing last week, their second consecutive road game. It's 48 degrees, hardly any breeze at all, partly cloudy skies. It is ideal football weather. Spring football, the Alliance. No kickoffs, remember. It's first play time. Started at the 25. Josh Woodrum out. Austin Allen, the starter today, as Maurice mentioned. And gives it to Brandon Oliver. Has NFL experience. 4-yard game to get the day started.
Well, this is how you want to start the game. Going downhill, getting those big guys up front going, and giving your quarterback some confidence. Coach, sometimes as a quarterback, they don't have to throw the ball all the time to gain confidence. You just want to get them in those 2nd and 6s because that's an easier conversion for a first down.
Yeah, we saw that a lot last week of teams, trying to make positive plays in order to make those 3rd downs they got into manageable.
Much faster rhythm in the Alliance. It's a 35-second play clock. And you get to a lot of late clock situations. Allen's going to fire toward the sideline, I should say. Intended receiver was Sam Mobley. And his first opportunity, incomplete.
Jamar Summers there on the coverage there, number 26. Again, a great job of playing press leverage, press coverage. He had a fine game last week against Memphis, and he's got off to a great start again this week.
I like what Salt Lake is doing, though, for Allen, getting him out and empty, forcing the defense to show what their covers are in early so he can play a little bit faster.
The key to the game last week was the Birmingham defense on 3rd down, and here we go.
It's up. Allen again to the sideline. Nobody there. Miscommunication on the route. Adonis Jennings, the intended receiver. Well, Allen played his college ball at Arkansas. He is the son of a coach, and Maurice, as you know, his brother Brandon, playing in the NFL on the practice squad with the Rams. Had a good run for them. Matter of fact, Austin replaced his older brother as the starter in Fayetteville. Rico will punt it away, and a whistle.
We see early on, just in the first drive there, the first series, probably a little miscommunication with the receiver and Allen, where they're not on the same page. And we saw a little bit of that last week. Now we've got a quarterback change, and hopefully they can work through the kinks of this very quickly.
Well, remember, he only had a week as well, guys. A week to prepare for this. So you're kind of getting thrown into a tough situation. But again,
defense, number 11, for a non-football move. 5-yard penalty, 4 pass.
Well, again, it's about just fighting through the adversity that's going to happen throughout the course of a game. We've all been on teams where you don't start your best, or you don't do your best early on. It's just how do you respond from that as a quarterback?
See our referee in the white hat, Trey Blake. So it goes from 4th and 7 to 4th and 2. Austin Rico in to punt it again. Quan Bray, the fair catch, and the Birmingham Iron will take over possession. And Marvin, the guy that has put up some big headlines here in week 1 of the Alliance, quarterback Luis Perez.
Luis has just had just a tremendous start last week into his career. Everybody knows the story now of him learning to play quarterback by studying YouTube videos and going out and throwing with his brothers. And one brother catch, one brother video him, so you could go back and compare.
Phenomenal story. One of the best stories of those involved in the Alliance, the way he has come back. Didn't even play on his high school football team as a quarterback. And here he is, knocking at the door, potentially at an NFL opportunity. Rush comes, flushed out of the pocket, and Perez incomplete. Pass intended for Connor Davis.
This Salt Lake defensive line, I mean, they're getting after it, Coach. I felt like Coach Erickson challenged those guys in practice because he felt like Arizona ran the ball on them in the second half, where that's what they're supposed to stop. You see immediate pass rush inside and pressure from the inside, forcing Perez to get outside and try to find a target.
Well, obviously, a change from a week ago where Birmingham in their game started with a little naked action where the quarterback got out, nice efficient throw. Here we go to spread them out, and let's try to isolate one-on-one.
Trent Richardson joins Perez in the backfield as the running back. Perez dumps it off. Washington, and it's a first down, 11-yard pickup for LaDamian Washington, who was added to the active roster this week. Played his college ball at Missouri.
Well, here we go. We have Washington at the bottom of the screen running a drive concept, just getting across the middle of the field. Finds some good space. I want to use your speed and get to that sideline a little bit faster, though.
48. Blue 88, head up.
Give it to Richardson. Plows his way forward. You saw Tim Lewis, or heard Tim Lewis, in the locker room pregame said, look, everybody, running backs, fall forward. He had little phrases for each grouping, how to win this game. And technically, mechanically, Birmingham put the best effort together last week.
Yeah, fundamentally sound. Linemen are blocking, driving their feet. As a running back, that's what you want to see when you see piles. You want to get into that pile and kind of create that wave so you can get a couple extra yards.
Birmingham had just 3 penalties in week 1 in that 26-0 victory over Mike Singletary's Memphis team. Again, Richardson in the backfield, another pass. This one's going to be caught by Palmer, another first down. Tobias Palmer will move the chains. A 10-yard pickup for Birmingham.
Maurice, we see another drive concept there as we go back and look at the replay of it. You see they're building it. Trent Richardson pulling the coverage out wide and then running the drive concept underneath. Isolation on the linebackers again.
You know, the Patriots do this a lot. They use their short passing game as part of their running game. Some they get their quarterback in tune, just quick throws so he can get the ball out of his hands.
They give it to Richardson. Big hole closed down quickly. Cody Brown coming in from the secondary. Just a 2-yard gain. Richardson might be the biggest name in this league to start the season. Of course, a great career at Alabama. 3,000-yard rusher in his career at Alabama. He was the number 3 overall pick back in 2012. Things did not pan out the way he had hoped, but he's getting a second chance here after a run in Canada.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about the Alliance League. You get an opportunity to showcase some maturity and understanding the game a little bit better.
Richardson with 2 touchdowns last week, both coming in the fourth quarter. Play action. Perez fires on the money, and again it's LaDamian Washington. This is his first game Inactive last week, the tall receiver has a couple of receptions.
Great execution here, the naked fake. We got the shallow cross coming again. Really good isolation. Luis Perez was very efficient in all of these throws last week. Kind of negates those big guys they have up front, and Silva and Purcell of the Salt Lake defensive front group.
12-yard pickup.
Hey, short. Set. 28. Blue.
Richardson looking for room. Got room. Spins, still on his feet. Dropped. It's a 9-yard game, and Trent Richardson, that power runner that we came to know so well at Alabama.
Brian, I could feel Maurice get a little excited about that one right there.
You felt the energy, Coach?
I felt your energy right there.
Anytime a running back's able to put his foot in the ground and break a tackle of a defensive lineman and then run over the safety and keep going, again, it's about bringing energy to your team. And in week 2, guys are a little banged up, a little sore. You have to kind of have that false enthusiasm, but that run there will spark the whole sideline.
He ran right through Eddie Wilson on the defensive line of Salt Lake.
Easy, on turbo. Turbo, up.
Play action. Flushed again. Perez, not the fleetest of feet, but able to get out of bounds. That'll be a loss. That was Chris Odom in pursuit for Salt Lake. It'll be 3rd and short here.
We got now a third and 2 or 3 yard situation here coming up now. There was a great graphic there showing Carter Schroeder, actually the picture on the film. Carter Schroeder had such a fine game in week 1 versus Arizona, and he'll be key in this. His opportunity to apply pressure on the quarterback. We're going to get some kind of bunch, I would imagine, bunch formation and ability to get rid of the football quickly here.
Yeah, it's going to be a short pass, some type of crossing route versus man-to-man.
9th play of the drive, 3 first downs. This is the first 3rd down situation. And Perez trying to let it fly here.
Give you that one, Maurice.
48.
It's easier from this perspective, isn't it, Coach?
It is. You don't see as much on the sideline.
Perez, and down he goes.
There's my guy there, Brian.
Carter Schultz. Dennis Erickson called him the MVP of the week last week, despite the loss for Salt Lake. Carter Schultz comes up with the sack.
Very simple. Comes over and beats the tight end and is able to get around. Sometimes when you do these play action passes, you have these receiving tight ends trying to block these masterful defensive ends who are skilled. It's a tough task.
It is a tough task. And again, in that situation, he has the opportunity to come off the football. He did a great job there, guessing correctly and getting the sack on the quarterback there.
7-yard loss, 2nd and 17. Dump it down again. It is Washington. And he is taken down quickly.
What I love about what the Birmingham Iron are doing offense, they're running repeat plays. We saw that play earlier in the drive. I want to say it was the 2nd play of the game. Run it again. See if you can get some yardage. Get your players comfortable. Let them settle in a little bit. Seems like guys are a little nervous doing some things that are uncharacteristic. Perez does a great job of getting it down to Washington, letting them get some run after the catch.
11 plays in the drive, back-to-back sequencing here with 3rd down. 3rd and 12 now after a 5-yard pickup.
I think we're in 2-down territory here. We have an opportunity here to go to 2 downs here. So I expect him to try to get part of this back right here.
Oh, he escapes. Perez on the move. Perez lets it fly toward the end zone. Oh, and it's dropped in the end zone. Tobias Palmer, for a moment, was free. Pressure from Pelepoy. Perez able to keep the play alive and almost put 6 on the board.
Well, here, I mean, he's in the grabs, Coach. And as a defensive lineman, you want to finish, but great job keeping your eyes downfield. Perez finding his receiver, trying to get him the ball. As a receiver, he hits you in the chest. You can't let the ball beat you up.
No, you can't let him get in. Great coverage, though, by C.J. Smith down the field, who has NFL experience, really good man-to-man cover guy. Now it brings on Nick Novak, who was last week's the first Alliance player of the week on special teams, Nick Novak, and here we go again.
And a 53-yard field goal attempt comes up well short. And so 4 for 4 last week for Novak at 37 years of age. Not enough leg here. And the Birmingham drive stalls after 13 plays. Salt Lake takes over. Skycam is brought to you tonight by Wheels Up. It's exactly how Marvin Lewis got to Birmingham as well. Wheels Up. Great to be with you, Coach.
It's good to be here.
I worked with Kevin McHale Thursday in the NBA. I have so many stories about you, but none of them for air. Salt Lake will take over. Second possession for them. Austin Allen getting the nod this week. On the run, Pearson-El. Plenty enough for first down. He'll run out of bounds. And the first down of the day for the Stampede of Salt Lake.
It's a great job of seeing Pearson-El's athletic ability, his ability to run with the football. Nice job with that. He'll also serve as the punt returner for the Salt Lake team.
Yeah, and you're going to challenge the redirection and the techniques of the defensive end. The chase mechanics is what you guys like to call it here.
Brandon Oliver in the backfield gets a run. Nice pickup after a 14-yard pickup from Pearson-El. Brandon Oliver goes for 6. It'll be 2nd and 4.
I see we're seeing the contrast of the two offenses here with Salt Lake, literally about 80% run thus far, Maurice.
Yes, I love it.
And the Birmingham team really mixing run and pass together quite a bit.
Ton of injuries in the receiving corps for Salt Lake. Dries Anderson out. Kenny Bell inactive this week. Again, it's Oliver. A lot of room to run. Cuts it up. Oliver. Another big pickup. Dennis Erickson preached the running game to his team after last week, and they have hit the ground running in this second possession.
Brandon Oliver, great runner with the San Diego Chargers. A lot of NFL experience, and you see his open field running right there.
Well, I love the concept, down and around. You're going to block down with the tackle, pull the guard, get Oliver out in space where he can run on safeties and corners. And that's what you want this young man.
19-yard gain. Again, it's Oliver. Oliver breaks a tackle. Another nice gain for Salt Lake. Oliver rushed for 40 last week. He was their best runner. But Dennis Erickson began the season, and you guys called the game last week. 40 yards. They averaged just 5 yards per carry. That was Oliver. The rest of the team picked up just 48. I think Dennis thought this was going to be a great offensive line and a great running team when the Alliance season began.
Well, no question. And one of the things that he wants to do is get downhill. Now, he wanted to use Matt Asiata as that battering ram, but it just didn't happen.
And Asiata is in there now. Short yardage situation. Had some good years with the Vikings. Allen gives it to him. Asiata, fresh legs. First run of the day, and he powers through, but the ball is loose. And Birmingham will recover. That is Elijah Campbell who comes up with the fumble. First carry of the day for Matt Asiata. He had enough for the first down. I think it was out before he hit the ground.
Yeah, you know, Maurice, as the great running back you were, the opportunity to carry the football, but you got to protect the football because everybody is living and dying with you.
No, Coach, you hit it.
Ball is out. That's a fumble. Turnover. Birmingham ball. Tocho brought it out.
You down?
Your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me.
Well, Dennis Erickson of Salt Lake will challenge this.
Hey, 2-6 is soft as shit. You blocked him?
Coach Erickson harped on the call, turnovers, not turning the ball over here. Matt Asiata does a great job of finding this hole and getting his shoulders square and getting through there. But you have to protect the ball, understanding that these guys are going to be swiping at it. That is the NFL. And it looks like that was Summers there with the strip.
Yeah. Again, our Jamar Summers again, fine play, pulling the football out.
Well, Salt Lake in a challenge here. That is Robert Liu, the replay official.
Okay, this is what we're going to do here. The ruling on the field is going to stand. Okay, the ruling on the field is going to stand because we don't have a definitive to go the other way. So the ruling on the field is going to stand.
Communication between Robert Liu and the referee Trey Blake.
Review. The ruling on the field stands.
Brian, Maurice, I really like the fact that in the AAF we have the opportunity to hear the replay official why they are deciding what they're deciding. It gives the fans really an inside look at what's really going on.
Yeah, Jack Tocho.
Is it Tocho?
The one who stripped it. Give him credit. Elijah Campbell recovered it, and Birmingham will take over on offense. So Oliver in that sequence, 3 rushes for 32 yards on the drive before the Asiata fumble.
You know, they gained field. Salt Lake starts with great field position after the missed field goal by Nick Folk, and now they're running the football, and they get down there and they have the miscue and the fumble, and so now Birmingham starting with the ball backed up.
Novak missing a 53-yard attempt.
Mike 5-7.
Costly turnovers last week for Salt Lake. Cost him the game. 2 fumbles led to points last week against Arizona. Richardson in the backfield. He'll get it on the draw. There he goes, and he is stuffed quickly. Nowhere to run for Trent Richardson. Gianni Paul met him first.
He filled that hole with intent and purpose to stop the running back there. When you see a running back, our number one rule is to drive your feet on contact. When you see that hit there by Paul, Richardson's feet stopped immediately because of the impact that was caused.
Maurice, the Salt Lake defense played a great first half in the game last week, and they just seemed to wear out a little bit in the second half of the game versus Arizona.
Quick hit. That's Felton. And DeVosier Felton with an 11-yard pickup. First down, Birmingham.
As a head football coach, Brian, you got to like play calls like this because it, again, gives your offense a chance for positive plays, Maurice, and puts the pressure on the defense. Get the ball out in space to your playmakers and let them run with the football.
Well, you're going to attack this defense horizontally, sideline to sideline, and vertically in this offense. I mean, they're going to use play action pass to go down the field. But this quick passing game is putting a lot of stress on this Salt Lake defense right now.
And Birmingham has kept Salt Lake on the field a lot here in this first quarter. Play action. Perez looking to go up top. And it is in and out of the hands of Washington. Good play in the secondary by Will Davis, the corner. And it'll be 2nd and 10 for Birmingham.
What I love is that Will Davis is bouncing back, Coach. Last week, Rashad Ross had the best of them. Guys, a couple posts on him. They were getting downfield. This time you see Will Davis get in and out of his break and play the ball like a true corner should.
You know, defensive coordinator Donnie Henderson really feels like he has 2 fine corners on each side of his defense to be able to play man-to-man and make plays on the football.
They give it to Richardson. And again, Salt Lake stuffs it. Set up a 3rd down here. That was Troy Paleapoi who met him first. Be 3rd and 7 now for Birmingham. There's Tim Lewis relishing this opportunity to be a head coach for the first time. 21 years in the NFL, 7 of those as a defensive coordinator. And Maurice, he's already got down the call. You know, as we talk about all the information and who was his inspiration, it's the first guy I mentioned.
Marvin Lewis,
imagine that.
Guy, unreal.
Yeah, Tim is a fine coach. He came to us with the Pittsburgh Steelers from the University of Pittsburgh.
Perez rifles one, caught by Quentin Patton. He was the star last week in the receiving corps, had 4 catches, 107 yards. 16-yard pickup. Look at this pass.
What I like about this pass is it's thrown with conviction. He knew where he wanted to go. So many times quarterbacks, they second-guess themselves. This time, Perez was like, listen, I'm going to my playmaker.
Well, you could see from the replay there, he was letting the ball go before the receiver had actually reached the depth and made his break out of the route.
Turbo, sit up.
And almost picked off. Intended receiver, Devosier Felton. Micah Hanneman on the coverage.
The Stallion defense, coach, it seems like they struggle on third down. They do the right thing on first down. They do the right thing on second down. On third down, they tend to have a breakdown in coverage or a lack of communication.
Yeah, that's going to be key again, not to allow the conversion. You got a 2nd and long here now, and we should expect Birmingham to try to pick part of this up right here to make it a 3rd and manageable down.
48, blue.
Perez gives it to Richardson. Stopped at the line. And just a short gain of 3. That'll set up 3rd and 7 here as we come under 2 minutes of this first quarter. Trevor Riley, this was the linebacker Dennis Erickson was very high on. Had great praise for Riley in week 1. Out of Utah, a ton of Utah Utes with this Salt Lake team. 10 of them, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, he was all over the field in week 1, but as you said, Maurice, here's a big 3rd and 7 again.
48.
2 out of 3 at third down conversions for Birmingham. Perez in the gun. A lot of time now, close quickly. Ball popped loose momentarily, and it's Carter Schultz with his 2nd sack. Guy's been told he's been undersized his entire career, and he's making a name for himself in this alliance this year.
Carter Schultz is finding a way again to get to the quarterback. You beat off the chip by the tight end. You beat one of the best tackles that Birmingham fields in this league with a nice hat-in-hand movement, getting around, swiping the hands, and going after the ball, Coach. It's all about the ball. It's all I've heard about from defense. It's all about getting the ball out and getting back to your offense.
It is. It's about playmakers and opportunity. And just as Perez was about to step up in the pocket, great job by Carter Schultz making the isolation sack.
Pearsonell, the returner, on the punt from Colton Schmidt. And Salt Lake, the Stallions, will have first down with 43 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Good coverage in the secondary results in sack number 2 for Carter Schultz.
We're family. We do anything for each other. But this time, those bonds were definitely tested.
Frog leg for my baby brother.
Don't frogs have, 2 legs? So I should have 2 of these. Since I'm active duty and she's family, I was able to set my sister up with a sweet membership from Navy Federal. If you hold it closer, it looks bigger.
Eat your food.
My big sis likes to make tiny food, and I'm okay with that.
Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
Our hardware and software creates an opportunity for fans to be able to play a digital game that we've created in real time for the first time, truly real time, unlike anything that exists.
We are building fantasy, but instead of a fantasy that is, based on the whole season or based on the weekend, it's fantasy that happens play by play. All of a sudden, you've gone from being the general manager of the team to being the coach of the team.
Eliab, number 1, both Google and Apple stores. And if you download it now, all sorts of Easter eggs hidden in it. See what you can find out and enjoy it. 43 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Brian Anderson with Marvin Lewis, the coach. Maurice Jones-Drew, former Pro Bowl running back. We're glad you're with us as the Alliance plays on TNT. First time on TNT. And Austin Allen back under center.
Wake up!
Again with a run, Brandon Oliver to the right, turns the corner, across the 20 for a short gain. 3-yard pickup, it'll be 2nd and 7. That was Casey Sales on the tackle.
Well, what I like here from the Stallions offense is they're trying to set an edge. They're trying to attack the edge. But this Birmingham Iron defense, they're going to give you an edge or illusion that you're going to have the edge, and then this defense is going to fly and set it and force the running back to make a trust.
Go. Waiting. Wake up.
Perhaps last play of the quarter. Allen dumps it off. Oliver across the 30. Finally wrestled down just shy of the 35. There is a flag down. So this first quarter not to an end just yet. 12-yard pickup with a flag on the field.
It looks like with Nick James out that Casey Sales has moved into that nose tackle spot.
And those are receiver downfield. Offense, number 73. It's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. We play second down. That's the end of the first quarter.
That was the left tackle, Jeremiah Patasi. So we'll flip it, get to quarter number 2. Salt Lake, the Stallions against the Iron of Birmingham. You're watching the Alliance this afternoon on TNT.
The Black Dahlia murder. Destroyed everything in its path. I'll blow this thing wide open.
City morgue. Girl got hacked.
It's starting to look a lot like proof, like a smoking gun.
Real evil is tricky.
I got the A-bomb, and it's primed and ready. We can stop him.
I Am the Night. All new Mondays at 9. And watch anytime on demand and on the TNT app.
Can't stop coming together.
Anticipating. Celebrating. You can't stop the players.
Can't stop the places.
Can't stop Sunday. Or Saturday.
They can't stop football.
Can't stop football. They can't stop football, and they can't stop us.
The Alliance.
The Alliance of American Football. The Alliance of American Football.
Glad you could make it.
Why don't we have some fun?
People love a good story.
We did our job.
We did our job. What just happened?
Let's find out.
What are you waiting for? Let's go!
We'll get you back to the second quarter in Birmingham, Salt Lake against the Iron right now. It is a 0-0 game right now. Defenses are showing up in this one at the end of the first quarter. I'm Alex Flanagan along with Terrell Davis. Welcome into our Alliance All Access studios. And TD, we are through one quarter. What stands out to you so far in this game?
Birmingham defense played last week. Shutout so far, shutout in this game. Nice red zone stop right there by Jack Tocho, excuse me. I mean, that defense was just playing all over the field. And right now, they're a bend but don't break defense. I love seeing that in this game right now.
Tocho stripping the ball, Elijah Campbell recovering it. And I think what you really see out of that defense is the effort.
Absolutely. That's what defense is all about. It's about flying around, assignment of football. And you saw there as the running back is going down there, Matt Asiata.
Yeah.
He's pulling, but they go in there and the effort.
Her power rankings coming up, but right now we send you back out to the second quarter and Brian Anderson and company.
All right, Alex, thank you. You made Coach Lewis shiver right there. He doesn't want to ever see points on the board. You're back into your defensive mode, Coach.
Well, no, when you're a head coach for a while, you become the head coach. And I started in football as a quarterback, so I want to throw the ball over their heads all the time.
Is that why you want to go deep every play, Coach?
Maurice, we got to take a shot, Maurice.
At least every time, right?
Every other time.
5 quarters of shutout ball for Birmingham on defense.
Waiting.
Second and 12 after the 5-yard penalty. And nothing there as Oliver is stuffed quickly. Casey Sales first to meet him. 5-yard loss.
You know, Casey Sales reminds me a lot of those old Steeler defensive linemen that you played against.
Oh, yes.
You know, back in the day there. He's done a great job. Brett Kiesel, Aaron Smith. That's who he reminds me of. And Tim's trying to build his defensive football team that way.
Coach, don't have you have nightmares, all right? In Jacksonville, those are some tough battles going back and forth. But this 3-4 style defense, the way this defensive line's playing, you're exactly right.
3rd and 17 for Allen in Salt Lake. And didn't get it off in time. Whistle comes in. Flag is down. I believe a delay of game here. Back him up even further.
Play of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still third down. There's no play clock this time. I got you. Nobody's open, dog. Huh? You're going to throw that quick because nobody's there.
Yeah, I think we got an opportunity to see a little bit of the inexperience of Josh Allen right there.
Just found the play clock.
He just found the play clock.
Second quarter.
Coach, it happens. Different quarter, different places.
Waiting!
Another give to, that's Newby. Terrell Newby out of Nebraska. So they go conservative. And by a little yardage here, and now the punt team on the field.
You know, there's so much of that happens, is the swing of field position in a football game, and we experienced it right there, Maurice.
Well, I don't really like the play call being safe. If you're going to do it, throw a quick screen. Let's get out in space and let's try to get some guys some opportunity. I understand the draw there, but the way this defensive line's playing right now, and your offensive line has been doing a great job of going backwards.
And there's no question. All the defensive football team is thinking draw screen as well. You got to try to get something going.
Quan Bray, and across midfield he goes. So another drive that stalls. Ton of penalties there for Salt Lake. Birmingham ball. All month long, the Alliance is spearheading Touchdown for Team Rubicon. For every touchdown scored in every game in February, the Alliance will donate $1,000 to Team Rubicon. That's a veteran-led nonprofit that helps communities recover after a natural disaster. Find out more and join the effort. AAF.com/donate. Military Appreciation Day at Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama. Second consecutive home game, and the whistles come in.
Substitution, offense, breaking the huddle with 12 players. 5-yard penalty, first down.
A ton of penalties here in this last window.
Week 2 jitters, I feel like. You know, it's kind of like, all right, we're trying to get into the move a little bit, but you have some guys who are banged up trying to come in. They may not know the personnel exactly how you went through it throughout the week. And let's remember, we're game planning now. It's not the overall concept of the scheme and how we're going to play as a team. It's what we're going to do to beat the Salt Lake Stallions.
I think both teams now with video on offense and defense, more expansive plans on the defensive point, and then you're right.
Third penalty in the last 6 plays. Little play action. Perez steps up, heaves it toward the end zone, and he overshoots his man, Quentin Patton.
Come on, baby.
There's nothing wrong with his arm. Talking to Tim Lewis and Steve Logan, the offensive coordinator, Marvin, it was a lot of discussion this week about the college throw versus the NFL throw for quarterback Luis Perez.
What I like about Luis Perez is how he's been moving in the pocket. His pocket presence has been great. He seems to step up and step away from the rush on the edges and be able to deliver the football. Just gets it out there a little bit too far.
There's Carter Schultz with the pressure once again. 2nd and 15. That one is in and out of the hands of Quan Bray. It's a drop for Birmingham. It'll be 3rd and 15.
Both these defenses are doing a great job forcing the teams to make the perfect throw every time. And when they do make the perfect throw, the receiver has to make what we call a combat catch, a catch in traffic, someone on you, someone around you, to make it tough. That, especially in the developmental league, those are always going to be tough things to deal with.
Yeah, you see a lot of matchup man-to-man coverage here. Will Davis there with the play there. These guys are being strapped to these receivers and making them tough, tight windows to throw in.
Plus 22 in yardage. They're plus 11 in total plays run. And a connection with the tight end, Connor Davis. Tight end out of Stony Brook. Will set up a 4th down and another punt here on a 4-yard gain.
There was a long 3rd and 15 there. The Salt Lake Stallions go into a 2-deep, 5 underneath zone there, Maurice. You could see the middle linebacker clearing the middle of the field, making him check the football down and then drive and tackle, keep the ball in front of you.
That's what we've heard from both coaches all week, is keep the ball in front of you and let the offense earn their way down the field. Don't give up the big play.
Punter Colton Schmidt, 5 years with the Bills. And Pearsonell directing traffic as it takes a side bounce around the 15-yard line. Skycam is brought to you today by Wheels Up. It'll be Salt Lake ball. Birmingham had a 10-play drive to start this one, but could not convert on a 53-yard field goal attempt in the first quarter as kicker Nick Novak comes up short. That's been as close as we have gotten to points on the board. A defensive grinder at Legion Field in Birmingham.
Well, if Salt Lake can get back to running the ball with Brandon Oliver, I think they'll have a chance.
Joel Buonio in the backfield to start this possession. A little play action. Austin Allen dumps it off. And almost a first down. We'll see about the spot. That's Austin Traylor on the reception. It'll be a 9-yard pickup.
Tiger.
Some of those, we always talk about the running game and the play action pass going together here. You get Allen comfortable, get his first throw on the move, short pass right to the tight end, easy, convert, move forward, get back to your running game though. That's when this team is playing at its best.
First completion of the day for Austin Allen.
Part of the strength here of this football team, they got illegal formation here. We're going to have to take a timeout. Part of the strength is these big tight ends they have. Last week we watched Anthony Denham have a great football game. You saw Traylor there make the big catch, and Nick Truslow as well.
I'm getting out of the huddle at 16 seconds. It's not working.
Let's go. Gun dice left, iron release.
Hey. Damn. Yeah.
Guys, not a lot of time for checkdowns. That's been the one theme we've heard from all the teams, all the quarterbacks and coordinators, is the pace of this game, getting the call onto the field faster than what maybe everybody around here is used to.
The 5-second difference in the play clock really makes things speed up. Now, the difference is the communicator stays open the entire time, so there's longer to talk with the quarterback, both offense and defense.
Joel Buonio remains in the backfield with Allen. And a give to Buonio. And another short pickup.
Move the chains there, though. First down, again, a little bit of the RPO action where you're making the defense have to defend the entire field, all 11 players there.
Had a completion on that drive, picking up a first down as well, Salt Lake.
I really want to harp on how big this offensive line is for Salt Lake and how important it is to get those guys going forward and leaning on this defense.
Again, it's Buonio. Buonio fights his way for some extra yards. He'll pick up 4. Joel Buonio, North Dakota State product, Minnesota native.
The other part of that is against the 3-4 front, when you're talking about blocking on those outside backers. They're blocking there on Massaquoi, who's 245, 250 pounds. So you have big 320-pound men blocking on, giving up about 70 pounds.
Yeah, Coach.
Got a couple of Utah Utes in there, Nuatafe and Patasi clearing the way. And Buonio, short gain here.
The other thing I like about the Salt Lake attack today is by playing with the 2 tight ends all the time, they're making that 3-4 defense have to even up, and they're making them, just splitting them out a little bit to really make it a little tougher on them to isolate the blocking.
Well, also with your tight ends, Coach, you're not allowing these pass rushers who've had a lot of success last week get a chance to get to your young quarterback.
Correct. Tim Lopano, the coordinator, calling the plays. 3rd down and 3 for Salt Lake. Allen, a lot of time. Scampers. Allen across for the first down.
Nice job there. Move the chains. That's what you want. The most efficient NFL quarterbacks move the sticks.
Well, he had some guys open, but he kind of second-guessed himself. Where we saw Luis Perez throw a conviction, here you're going to see Allen look to the drive route. He's going to look to the running back in the backfield. He doesn't see anything. Luckily, the protection holds up, and he's able to use his legs. You want him to kind of diagnose that a little bit quicker and play faster.
Great block there at the end by Joe Buonio to free the quarterback so he can make the first down there.
Lady! What's up?
6th play of the drive. Right in his face, able to get it off. A completion to Buonio. And he is across for another first down. That had disaster written all over it. Instead, Austin Allen able to turn that into an 11-yard pickup on the hookup with Buonio.
Well, here you have the fake reverse screen. So you're trying to use as much misdirection as possible to try to get your running back in space. If you're able to get some of those linemen out, that could have been an even bigger play with some guys blocking in front.
You also saw the inside linebacker pressure there, so they also hit the weakness of the defense by working away with the screen away from the pressure coming.
So a lot of Brandon Oliver in the backfield in the first quarter. It has been Buonio in the second quarter. Now Oliver back in, gets the carry.
Number 63 there, Jeremy Folk. Nice job there. Again, one of these 3-4 defensive ends is so important because they're going to play both outside Maurice on that tackle and sometimes inside on an offensive guard.
Kind of story this league is all about. Jeremy Falk out of Garden City Community College in Kansas. Went through the JUCO route, one of the best JUCO players back in 2016. Had a little time in preseason with the Jets. And this past preseason with the Browns. 2nd and 7. Allen fires. It is caught. Leslie, no, out of bounds. Only 1 foot down. Leslie thought he had them both touched. It'll be incomplete.
It looked like he had them both down to me from up here. But I'd love to see a replay to see if he didn't drag that second foot. Here we're going to see it. Great ball placement here by Allen, getting the ball outside. And yes, he drags the toes.
Looks like he drags the toe.
I need to, Coach Erickson, throw the flag. Tony Toe Tap is in the building.
Play caller Tim Lopano doing a great job, though, of making his quarterback feel much more comfortable, getting the ball out of his hand, getting him on the move a little bit.
Just did get the play off. And again, Allen, that's too tall. Intended receiver was Anthony Denham, who was excellent last week. Caught the first pass, as a matter of fact, in Salt Lake history. Casey Sales with the pressure for Birmingham.
Well, that what shows you every play is important. And you have to make sure, as a receiver, as a quarterback, that you're executing on every play. Because you have a situation where if it's a little bit cleaner, I think Coach Erickson would have threw the red flag, the challenge flag, to try to find a way to get a replay of that. Maybe you get an extra down.
That's one of the differences we have here in this league is the ability to get the replay and opportunities so that you can make a great decision, a quick decision like that.
Austin Rico with the punt. And about the 12-yard line, it's Quan Bray. It'll be Birmingham ball when we continue second quarter action. It's the Alliance on TNT.
Here's the thing. 52% of guys experience erectile dysfunction, but 0% like talking about it. That's why we built Roman. For the first time ever, you can get ED meds prescribed online, shipped discreetly to your door. Chat online with U.S. licensed physicians. And get FDA-approved medication, all in single-dose packaging. No more waiting rooms, awkward talks, or lines at the pharmacy. Get started with your free online visit at GetRoman.com/TV.
Birmingham will take over at their own 11. Second quarter action here at the Alliance. Brian Anderson, Marvin Lewis, Maurice Jones-Drew. And, Coach, we're talking one thing about this league is you're not getting the number of possessions that you'd see in an NFL game. So you're talking maybe 65, 75 possessions per game. Puts a lot of value on each possession.
Yeah, each play really means a lot here. They like to speed up. It's up-tempo football, but we're not getting right today in this game enough first downs made.
Well, yeah, the development is in practice. We're going to practice the fundamentals, do the little things. This is the test. So you're going to go out and see how you execute what we put in practice, how you can play in these environments that are conducive for success.
So the Iron at their 11 with Luis Perez under center, Trent Richardson in the backfield. And a give to Richardson. He's greeted quickly and fighting as much as he can, but another loss.
This defense is flying all around right now, Coach. The Stallions defense. Now, we know in the first half they play well. The key is, can you do that and regroup in the second half and at halftime? Can you regroup and play at a faster level?
When we talked to Coach Erickson yesterday, he mentioned that Coach Henderson was a little energized this week. He's a little louder this week in practice.
Perez wants to throw. He's got his man, his 9th completion. And Wesley Saunders who was brought back, put on the active list this week. Braden Bowman injured last week, so Saunders, who was on the camp squad before he was let go, brought back, gets himself a reception. Luis Perez now 9 for 15 for 74 yards.
The Salt Lake Stallion defense really doing a nice job of mixing man and zone coverage there. You saw him fall into his zone coverage there. Again, forced to check down, drive the throw.
25 plays thus far for Birmingham, 17 passing plays. And going in the air once again, dumps it off. Richardson, oh, what a hit. And Richardson finally down. Gianni Paul, we called his name a few times today. The linebacker Paul out of Utah delivers the boom.
Coach, let me tell you what, this is that Tampa 2 right here. Watch Paul. He's going to sink. He's going to dive in, read the play, and then really just lay the boom. This is why I don't play the game anymore. Okay, my body doesn't need to get touched like this. I'd rather be in the booth safely here with you.
Well, for our fans, you know, Derek Brooks had an entire career of playing that defense, driving and making those plays where Paul was playing in that particular defense, and a great player for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers playing this style of defense.
Well, Gianni Paul, a little shaken up after that hit on Richardson.
Gianni Paul is also one of these good stories who was really a productive college football player. And, you know, he's having an opportunity now to earn his way back, and an opportunity possibly in the NFL.
You know, one of the things in this Alliance League that we don't talk about a lot of is about how the whole league is ran with one medical unit. Now, both guys are going to come up from the same side because you get different vantage points on what happened, and then they can kind of communicate with the player to figure out what's going on. Where in the NFL, if you're with the Bengals have a staff. If you're with the Jaguars have a staff. So that's one of the unique things that they're doing here in the Alliance League to also help players and just give the best feedback possible to get them back on the field.
I agree with that.
So on 4th and 2, Colton Schmidt on to punt. Dornane Pearson-L is back for Salt Lake, and he'll give it a shot here. Pearson-L dropped at the 44. Salt Lake will take over possession. Jamar Summers on the tackle on special teams. Hey, one of the exciting new features in the Alliance first season is the fresh new look team uniforms developed and provided between the Alliance and Starter New Era. Sharp-looking unis. I'm sure
Coach,
the Stallions will be anxious to put their home uniforms on next week.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you, if I age myself a little bit, I used to have a Starter's jacket as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oakland Raiders one back in the day.
Those are big.
You know, in the 90s.
Yes, sir. Starter was big. Starter was the outfitter in the NFL when I started in '92 with the Steelers.
Hey. Woo, 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 woo. Lady, what's up?
Austin Allen. And it's his third completion. Finds his man Adonis Jennings. So Allen, here in the second quarter, has 3 completed passes, just 3 for 7 in the game. Not passing much. I mentioned as we got started today that the receiving core for Salt Lake, they have a ton of injuries. Kenny Bell, who was a prolific receiver at Nebraska, is out with a thigh injury. Dries Anderson is out with a hamstring problem. There's the give to Terrell Newby, and nothing there. The Iron closed the door. 2-yard loss. It was Matthew Wells who greeted him first.
See, one of the harder things, though, working against this 3-4 is now you really play into the strength and the athleticism of these outside linebackers here. Instead of getting the big guys matched up, now we're trying to go laterally on them, and that plays a little bit into their strength and what they're all about.
Wells closed so fast there. He saw the hole, and he shot through that thing to get to the running back. Gets a nasty stiff arm, was able to fight through that stiff arm and bring the running back down.
And Massaquoi made that play to order Wells so that Wells could step through and make the play. So using his length and athleticism out there.
Josh Frazier is down, defensive lineman for Birmingham. Yeah, this came upon these players quickly while they relished the opportunity. You're talking about 6-week training camp, essentially. You play an exhibition game. They did some 7-on-7s, but you play an exhibition game, you're right into week 1. And the injuries are starting to stack up here.
Yeah, that's one of the harder things. But, you know, we have these players with Joe Pendry being the general manager of this club. Trey Brown being the personnel director. And they've done a nice job of adding these players from this region, as the allocation and so forth, as far as both the collegiate allocation, as which schools are yours, and then the NFL teams.
And if you notice, if you look at Birmingham's roster, there's one school that stands out more than any school.
Yeah.
The Rolling Tide, the Crimson Tide of Alabama. I mean, these guys, they found ways to get guys opportunities, and they want to play that type of ball, that downhill physical football.
Frazier played his college ball at Alabama. He's one of the 10. Let's hope he's all right. Asiata joins Austin Allen in the backfield. Had a big fumble in the first quarter, and again, Allen not getting that one off in time.
What do you mean?
See the communication between the lineman there and Austin Allen. But just a little tip of it. Coach Pendry literally was at West Virginia when I was coming out of high school. He used to give me a ride home from school because we had a really good running back that he wanted to recruit. He didn't want me to say anything bad about their school.
It's funny to hear the offensive line turn around and say to Austin Allen, hey, you can't hold the cadence.
What are you waiting
for? Because listen, these hamstrings only hold up this 300 pounds for so long. I need you to get a little faster with that thing.
Jake Bennett, the center, a really smart player, and understands it.
They spread it out. That's Asiata, the running back, down on the bottom, and now chased out of the pocket, and down goes Austin Allen. Jeremy Falk closes down for the sack, and again, Austin Allen hanging on to the football. Great coverage back here.
Coach, we talked about being able to read coverages and get the ball out quick. You have to find someone. You got to throw it. Pressure's coming from all over the place, and your offensive line is not built to go backwards. They're bigger guys, wider guys against these faster outside linebackers with the iron.
You see Sales making him step up and have to step up in the pocket. And then contrasting was the 3-deep 4 underneath zone there played by the Birmingham Iron there.
Rico with his fourth punt of the game. It is dropped by Bray. A scrum for the football. Bray had it slip right through his hands.
Recovered there.
Andre Tolliver, I believe, recovered it.
Literally, Maurice, last week we did the Salt Lake Stallions game versus the Arizona Hotshots, and when Salt Lake fumbled a punt, muffed that punt, was the turning point in the game. We'll see how that affects this football game here today.
Coach, as a young punt returner in the NFL, this is one of the toughest things to do because you have to trust the guys in front of you are going to do your job. Because my job is to look up and catch the ball. But if you ever get hit, you start to second doubt yourself a little bit.
Yeah, first and foremost, catch the football.
Waiting! A costly fumble. And now a big opportunity here for Salt Lake as Oliver plows his way for 5. Remember, Salt Lake had a turnover, had a fumble down near the end zone in the first quarter. Now a gift from Birmingham.
I love seeing Brandon Oliver get back to his blockers and say, hey, you're supposed to go down.
Same side.
Okay, if you block down, I got to run. Coaching all the time. And that's going to happen in the NFL as well. You're going to coach everyone. You're going to tell guys what you see and expect them to do the same.
Wait up.
2nd and 7. Here's Allen. Little screen set up for Oliver. He's got a lot of room to run. Gets a block. Oliver inside the 5. Big pickup for Salt Lake. 19 yards on the screen.
Really a nice job of setting this screen up. Great patience. Nice job by Brandon Oliver. And you see the offensive lineman here pick up the man-to-man cover guy. Ryan Cummings, number 79, doing a tremendous job of picking up and getting the block to get the screen going.
Well, when you run a screen versus man-to-man, you always want to block the guy that's covering the back and run everyone off. Salt Lake has a great call there. Probably a tendency they saw and they wanted to utilize.
Big block there by Salisi Uatafe. Now a chance. Oliver cuts back. And about a yard. Casey Sales again. That'll take us to the 2-minute warning. A fumble on the punt has given Dennis Erickson and the Stallions a chance to get some points on the board. It's a shutout here. 2 minutes remaining in this first half.
Come on, Carol. Hawaii, nice.
Yeah, I'm excited. Finally earned enough rewards points.
So jealous.
Yeah, I can't wait to get that shave ice.
What's shave ice?
It's like a Hawaiian snow cone.
Why not just say snow cone?
I don't know, they call it shave ice.
You fly to Hawaii for this.
I don't go there for the ice.
You saved up your reward points for ice. That's a lot of ice.
Okay.
Go Rewards credit card from Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
Our hardware and software creates an opportunity for fans to be able to play a digital game that we've created in real time for the first time, truly real time, unlike anything that exists.
We are building fantasy, but instead of a fantasy that is, based on the whole season or based on the weekend, it's fantasy that happens play by play. All of a sudden, you've gone from being the general manager of the team to being the coach of the team.
Well, that app is #1 in both Google and Apple stores. And if you download it right now, there are all sorts of Easter eggs hidden in it. See what you can find and enjoy. There is Brandon Oliver, 8 games with the Chargers 2 years ago, was with the Colts preseason this year. Undrafted free agent back in 2014 after a brilliant college career at Buffalo. And it is 2nd and goal from the Birmingham 3. That's Buonio in the backfield with Allen. Buonio finds a hole and touchdown, Salt Lake. Joel Buonio with the first score of the game and a 3-yard rushing touchdown.
You hear great job O-line because all Buonio had to do was start to the left on his inside zone footwork and just wave back to the backside A-gap because everyone's wiping everybody down here. Here we go. Buonio's going to go like this, but all these guys, they're going to take everything this way. He's just going to cut backside.
Maurice, what you said, I heard you say wave. He kind of rode the wave all the way back. That's what I always hear the offensive coaches talking about, is ride that wave and let it happen.
It's called sweat surfing, I think.
That's another great one.
Lady! Going to go for 2 in the Alliance.
I would expect we get a similar type. We didn't get a chance to.
So the conversion fails. Jeremy Falk was first to greet Buonio. So 6 on the board after the touchdown on the 3-yard run by Joel Buonio.
And that's big. Stopping the 2-point conversion there is big in this football game, the way these games go. And Jeremy Falk again with another great football play.
You see they're in man-to-man, and they don't identify the defense right. So you have the left guard stuck between the linebacker and the 3 technique here, and they just allow immediate penetration.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do.
Matthew Wells, again, penetrating from his inside linebacker spot, stepping up, causing the line to step down, and leaving Wells free in the hole.
This is an unfamiliar feeling for Birmingham. This is the first points they have allowed this year, so they have played nearly 6 quarters of football without allowing any points, but 6 on the board on the touchdown. Again, no kickoffs in the Alliance, so Birmingham starts their sequence here at the 25. That's Ty Isaac in the backfield with Perez.
Plenty of time here for Birmingham.
And they dump it off, and too much traffic. Trying to get Isaac involved here. Tall running back out of Michigan, Mike Purcell, snuffed it out.
In this situation, which we call a 2-minute situation, Coach, you always want to start off with screen or draw, try to get the thing going a little bit, but then it's about executing and going while the clock is running. How can Perez lead his team in this situation? Maybe the first time they've ever been able to do this.
Maurice, that other side knows that too, that you're likely going to start with the screen and draw.
Minute 52 to go. Up and off in the flat. Again, this is Isaac, the running back. And maybe a slight loss or no gain. Birmingham's used 3 running backs in this one. With Darius Perkins started. Trent Richardson is the feature back. But Isaac, as Tim Lewis, understanding the developmental aspect of this, trying to get as many guys playing as he can. The fresh legs of Isaac. It's his first catch. Again with the pass. And again out in the flat. This is Wesley Saunders, reaches for a first down. Let's see the spot. He'll be a yard short
here.
Good effort by Saunders.
Saunders does a great job of chipping and getting to the flat, but the pursuit of this Stallion defense flies to the ball.
Maurice, we see that 2 deep, 5 underneath zone again. A nice job of tackle, getting the ball carried down before the down marker.
I'm guessing by the boos we're hearing, they are not going for it here, 4th and 1 at the 34-yard line, and there the punt team is out.
Well, the other thing I noticed is Salt Lake not taking the timeout, trying to preserve the 2 timeouts they have left.
Colton Schmidt. No, it's a fake. And he will be stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
Stopped it. Stallions stopped it.
Hanneman comes away with the football at the interior line, and Schultz in the middle of it. Well, we got an injured Birmingham player on the field as well. Jacob Hagan is down. He was the ball carrier. And Tim Lewis rolled the dice, and now it's given Salt Lake great field position.
Well, if you guys remember the Philadelphia Eagles and the New Orleans Saints, that's a play that Fletcher Cox really wasn't prepared for, and the Saints were able to drive him back. Great job by the Stallions defense to fire off the ball and make sure that they stop him.
Yeah, nice job there by our guy 94, Carter Schultz, once again, making the big plays in this football game. 2 sacks and now a 4th down stop.
Not a good sign here, as Jacob Hagan already is being applied with an air cast. And the defense has been the story of this one. A couple of sacks for Carter Schultz. Excellent coverage in the secondary. And after that first long drive stalled for Birmingham, Salt Lake has found their rhythm here on the road.
They really have. They've done a great job on defense, getting him at 3rd and longer situations. Big stop there we see on 4th down. Carter Schultz coming up big again. It's 2 weeks in a row.
You could see the agony on the face of Jacob Hagan in that last replay. And the card is on the field, the air cast is on, and this does not look good.
Yeah, you can see Coach Lewis there, and just the look, anguish on his face looking at his injured player like that. This is not what we want to see when these guys have these injuries, particularly one in this series.
Having to cut his shoe off here, and tell you guys, this league, these opportunities, Maurice, you touched on it when we hit the air. This is such a golden opportunity for these players. You know they want to play. They want to get out there, show what they can do. There's so much on the line. The wolf is at the door, if you will.
Right.
And then to have an injury like this, just devastating psychologically.
Is that a northern part of the United States? The wolf is at
that's
the
a
door.
Milwaukee thing.
Milwaukee thing.
It's a lot
I've never heard that. Huh?
Well, no, I'm from the great outdoors in the Bay Area. We never heard about the wolf at the door. But with these type of injuries, the Alliance League, that you have full coverage.
Yeah.
So you get full medical, which is important because of injuries like this. Again, this is all about development. And the Lions, they're doing it the right way. They're taking care of their players. They're making sure you see guys they see this because they've fought with their brother. But understanding at the bigger picture is he will be taken care of, and they'll make sure that they'll get him the best help possible.
I'll tell you one thing this shows me right away. This is only week 2, but you're starting to see how these guys have come together. I mean, they're a real team. There's already a brotherhood going here, and they're devastated. The faces tell it all. Devastated by what has happened here with Jacob Hagan.
Well, these guys have been housed together. They've been, they were together for camp in San Antonio, and now when they come back to their home cities, they have the opportunity to be housed together. So it's one of the perks that comes with playing in this league.
And to piggyback on that, Coach, they all have the same mission. Right. Everyone in the building has the same mission, from the top president to the GM to the coaches to the players to the equipment staff to the training staff. Everyone's trying to get to the next level.
Well, as they tend to Jacob Hagan, we'll take a timeout. 53 seconds left in the half. 6-0 Salt Lake. Back after this.
They can't stop us. They can judge or dismiss us, but we'll come back. Because you can't stop pride or power. You can't stop speed or spirit. You can't stop genius or passion. Or you can't stop coming together, anticipating, celebrating. You can't stop the players. You can't stop the places. You can't stop Sunday or Saturday. You can't stop football, and they can't stop us. The Alliance of American Football.
This is week 2 of the Alliance of American Football, and an injury timeout. They finally get Hagan up onto the cart. Just a brutal-looking injury there, and his entire team out to send him away. That's a pretty powerful scene. These players sign 3-year contracts, and Maurice, you touched on the health insurance part of it. I think that kind of passes by. What do you mean the players don't have health insurance? But outside the NFL, that's a hard thing to come by, and it is another part of the alliance, player safety, providing for their families. You're able to make some money. It's a $250,000 contract for the 3 years with incentives.
Yeah, exactly. And so, you know, so many times in some of these minor league systems and other sports, it's tough to provide medical, especially for a sport that's so physical, demanding like the NFL. So, again, they're going to take care of him. We wish him the best, speedy recovery, get back out there. You know, again, it's your dream. If you're able to get back out there and play, you got to be able to try and do that.
Jacob Hagan played his college ball at Liberty. And on the fake punt, he was the ball carrier.
Ruling on the field is that the runner was down short of the line of the game. There's a change of possession on downs. It'll be Salt Lake City's ball, first down. Birmingham was not charged a timeout since there's a change of possession during the play. First down.
Referee Trey Blake with the explanation. They're already in field goal range here for Salt Lake.
Yeah, Salt Lake has one timeout now, 53 seconds left.
A fumbled punt set up their touchdown. And now Austin Allen. 5 on the play clock. Allen steps in, hit hard, and the pass comes up short.
I really think it's important for this Birmingham defense to make a big stop here. You know, they don't want to give up any more points before halftime here.
You know, as a player coming off an injury or an extended period break, it's always tough to get back going. And you're gonna kind of see Salt Lake try to mold back into it, but you're so close. Coach, I'm trying to take a shot here. We're right there. Give me double post and let me hit the outside guy over the top.
We'll see what kind of confidence they have right here in quarterback Josh Allen. Beating the tackle one-on-one. We've now got an injury to the Birmingham Iron player here.
Yeah, Xavier Dixon.
Dixon. You know, that was a big play there by Josh Allen. By not taking the sack, by moving away from the rush, throwing the ball away, he preserves an opportunity still for
the field. Birmingham's first charge time out of the half.
He's growing up right before our eyes, Coach.
Some of those plays are so big in the scope of the football game. Great job there by Austin Allen.
Well, Austin Allen, the son of a coach. Maurice, you mentioned that his father was a coach at Arkansas. They grew up in Fayetteville. He followed his older brother as the starting quarterback for the Razorbacks. But it has been a while since he's been in the fire, and he's been the starter, calling plays, running a game. It's a quick clock here in the Alliance. So you give him a little bit of leeway here to settle in for a moment, and Salt Lake has the lead.
All right, Maurice, it's 3rd and 10. What
Coach,
do you got here?
I'm going deep. I'm aggressive, Coach. If I'm a play caller, you know what? We're going to go what I call double post X over. We're going to try to move everybody out and bring X from the opposite side, or the receiver from the opposite side all the way to the right, give my quarterback a decent throw.
Wake up!
Austin Allen in the gun, fires toward the end zone, and just out of the reach of Anthony Denham. That is big tight end. That was a familiar connection last week, Josh Woodrum and Anthony Denham. And the drive ends up in a 4th down scenario and a field goal try here for Salt Lake.
You really feel good about the Salt Lake Stallion offensive coach. He's feeling good about, Austin Allen to be able to make that play, that throw in this situation.
Taylor Bertolet will kick the field goal here. 53-yard attempt. Had some time with the Jets and the Broncos in the preseason, and he hammers it, and it's got enough, and it is good. A 53-yard bomb by Taylor Bertolet, and Salt Lake adds 3 more. It's 9-0 as we come to the end here of this first half.
Really good execution there. A nice job by the snapper, the holder getting the ball down. Colton Taylor there Colton Taylor doing a very good job. That's what you want to see. Great execution there.
So for Salt Lake, a touchdown coming off of a fumble, a field goal coming off of a failed fake punt. And Salt Lake kind of flipping the script to what happened to them last week. They had a couple of turnovers that led to points. 32 seconds remaining in the half. Luis Perez with Richardson in the backfield. And stops the clock, set up 2nd and 10. I think they were calling for a penalty here. Richardson got caught up in the traffic.
Well, so listen, I want all our viewers to hear me out here. Running backs, they'll never call holding on you. Linebackers hold, defensive linemen hold. Coach Lewis teaches all his guys to hold you when you go through the line of scrimmage, and the refs aren't going to call it. Great job trying to identify the screen here by the defensive line for the Stallions, but I tell you what, he's holding them, Coach.
Yeah, number 98, Mike Purcell, knows that whole screen draw theory to begin the 1-minute drive and grabs the running back there.
A lot of time in the NFL with the Niners. 2nd and 10, flushed out of the pocket. Perez looking for someone. He's got a big arm, but nobody to throw to, and he'll run out of bounds. That'll be a 4-yard gain. Birmingham going to have to get something down the field.
Well, we've got 20 seconds left, 1 timeout.
See what's coming up at the half. Alex, Rod, TD, Cynthia, all in our Alliance studios. Get first half analysis and a debut of Cynthia's power rankings. She finally has games to crunch the numbers with. Good for Cynthia.
You know, speaking of Rod, Coach, you told me once that Tim Lewis was very instrumental in Rod Woodson being in the Hall of Fame, and that's huge. Can't wait to hear what Rod has to say.
They give it to Trent Richardson, and he's dragged down by his dreadlocks. Has enough for a first down. Not a horse collar, but a hair tackle.
Yeah, hair tackles are allowed. There's nothing in the rule book that says if you're going to wear your hair this way, you're subject to being tackled by it.
Troy Polamalu got tackled by Larry Johnson on a pick to save a pick 6.
That's Gianni Paul. Oh, man, and by a thread of the hair.
You know, I used to have dreads back in the day, guys.
Did
Part
you?
of the reason I cut them was because of that. It happened in practice. I was like, that there is something I don't want to feel ever again.
Wow.
Maurice, I heard you had extensions.
No, Coach, that was my freshman year in college, but you can't tell people that. That's my personal business, all right?
My hair stopped. They just pop right off.
I don't mean to put you out there.
My hair stopped growing. You know, I wasn't as healthy as I was later in my career.
I'm just saying extensions might be a decent option. They just pop right off.
Well, see, they got pulled too, and they didn't come out. So
Okay.
they were done right.
Well, a hair tackle. Yeah. Well, Dennis Erickson. You mentioned Troy Polamalu. Dennis Erickson, an inductee to the College Football Hall of Fame, coaching at 6 different schools, last at Arizona State. 5 seconds left in the half, and they'll give it to Richardson. And Tim Lewis is going to be content to take this one to the halftime locker room. Had some injuries, very little scoring, but Salt Lake coach delivers twice after a failed conversion and a fumble.
Salt Lake has really taken advantage today, and with the opportunity, with the turnovers, and also with the fake punt there.
We'll check in with the guys in the studio. Alex and the gang. We're at the half. It's the Alliance, and it's on TNT this afternoon.
It'll be showtime in Charlotte when the lights kick up for State Farm All-Star Saturday night. Speed and ability is put to the test in the Taco Bell Skills Challenge. Then, the Mountain Dew three-point contest settles scores for top marksmen.
He's making it way down.
The night is topped with the fan favorite AT&T Slam Dunk Contest. In return for Sunday's All-Star Game presented by Kia. Coverage begins tonight at 7 on TNT.
So Chris, what's it like working with Patty again?
I love Patty, so she pitches anything, I'm immediately interested. I fell in love with it, and then she said Pre at LA and that we'd be shooting on film.
Background.
And then it was kind of like Chinatown, wrapped up in this noir mystery and thriller. Well, now that is cool. She's very captivating and very energetic. Such a great storyteller, and I trust her implicitly. She really wants to get in there with you and figure you out and what's the best way to get the best out of you.
I Am the Night, all new Mondays at 9, and watch anytime on demand and on the TNT app.
So a fumbled punt by the Iron, setting up the Stallions' first score of today's game, a touchdown by Joel Buonio. Then a late field goal by the Stallions, and Salt Lake leads it 9-0 at halftime. Welcome to our TNT audience into our Alliance All Access studio. I'm Alex Flanagan, along with Rod Woodson and Terrell Davis. And you guys, maybe a little bit of an unexpected half. We talked so much about Birmingham's defense, Rod, going into this game, but really it's Salt Lake's who has shown up.
They have played extremely well. I mean, this Salt Lake Stallion defense has only given 108 yards total in the first half. And then you look at Carter Schultz, 2 sacks. Yeah. They have made it very difficult for the Birmingham Iron offense and Perez in the running game to get anything established.
They have, but, Perez has been playing well in this game, even though the last 2 games, no touchdowns. He still looks like a pro-style quarterback to me. So let me show you some stuff that he did today where he is impressing me. You watch this right here, and he is just right there in the pocket, the poise. Watch this, and watch what he does. The pressure's around him. He escapes, gets out, and I love this. Running to your left, trying to throw a ball on the right-handed. Look at that. You got to make the catch. You got to have your quarterback out. Now, right here, he's looking downfield, nothing there. I'm crossing route. Let me just dump it off. That's an easy pickup game right there. And this I really like. You're into a bootleg, fake to the left, roll out, and he's running to his right, and watch this. On the money. That's beautiful. So he's played well the last 2 weeks. Although no touchdowns, they've got to find a way to get that ball into the end zone because it's just wasting good quarterback play.
I love just his composure, keeps his eyes up all the time. But what he was able to really capitalize on last week were those explosive plays. And to your point, Salt Lake really has not allowed those this week at all. What about the running game, though? Again, we have some big names on the Birmingham Iron in terms of running backs. But again, it's the Salt Lake Stallions and Brandon Oliver that have really showed up.
I mean, you look at the running game, the Iron only has 33 rushing yards, and that puts more pressure on total in the running game, but that puts more pressure on Perez as the quarterback of making the plays with his arm. So they have to do a better job being a balanced offense for him.
But Brandon Oliver, on the other side of the ball,
balling.
Hey, looking. I mean, the guy played with the Chargers, had a phenomenal, early start to his career. But right here, the long runs he's making, the chunk runs, they're moving the ball on the ground, which is really good. Birmingham, 0-point shutout last week. Now they're being shut out.
Does Birmingham have to ride Trent Richardson a little bit more?
I just don't think if Trent, look, Trent has ran hard. He runs the ball hard, but Trent doesn't have that explosiveness. He's not a back that's going to explode for 40 yards. He is a 2 to 3 yard back, and he runs extremely hard. So, no, you got to give somebody else a chance.
I like to see him give Perkins more opportunities in space. Because I think he's a better runner in space, and I think he can be a little bit more elusive in space for this football team.
Ladarius Perkins, hopefully maybe we'll see him a little bit in the second half. But what we're going to show you guys next, we don't really know anything about math, the three of us, so we bring in Cynthia Freeland, thank God. She's going to unveil her power rankings coming up after this break.
Keep me in the loop.
Pulling jobs with your brothers?
Go, 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 go!
They think you're out of control.
Load them up! We're a family, remember?
Are you out of control, baby?
Don't let her get too comfortable.
I'm the boss.
You stick with me.
Animal Kingdom, all new season coming soon to TNT.
Journey. The Champions League is back.
Ain't no stopping now.
Oh my word!
Absolutely magnificent.
Oh, what a hit!
Sensational goal!
Race the Champions League on TNT. Stream on BR Live.
Bow to the king.
Hi, I'm God.
As employees of Heaven, Inc., it is our responsibility to keep Earth running smoothly.
What'd you do?
Is that a good alarm?
He's never addressed the whole company before.
I've decided to blow it first.
We have to stop this. I am not brave, but you are. And that's what Earth needs right now.
Let's save this weird-ass planet.
Here's to the team.
Cheers.
Oh!
Miracle Workers, all new Tuesdays at 10:30 on TBS and the app.
Our hardware and software creates an opportunity for fans to be able to play a digital game that we've created in real time for the first time, truly real time, unlike anything that exists.
We are building fantasy, but instead of a fantasy that is, based on the whole season or based on the weekend, it's fantasy that happens play by play. All of a sudden, you've gone from being the general manager of the team to being the coach of the team.
Well, that app is #1 right now in both Google and the Apple stores. And if you download it now, they tell me that there are all sorts of Easter eggs hidden in it. So see what you can find and enjoy it. It's pretty darn fun. You can also pick the different plays, whether it's a run or a pass. I have enjoyed it, as has my 11-year-old so far. All right, so it's a weekend, and Cynthia Freeland, that means, now has some numbers to play with. She is an analytic guru and awesome when she talks math. So Cynthia Freeland, take it away with this week's Power Rankings.
Even though there's only been one full week of action, I've managed to come up with the beginnings of a statistical model that will update every single week. So with no further ado, here are the top 4 in my power rankings. At number 4, the San Antonio Commanders' Sean Washington gave us the play of the weekend, but that was just one play in their defensive domination of the San Diego Fleet. They earned the most sack yards for any team. The Birmingham Iron earns my 3rd place slot, not just because they shut out the Memphis Express, but because of their passing efficiency on both sides of the ball. Their defense was the most efficient at stopping the pass, and their offense produced the league's top receiver for the week. Quentin Patton had 107 receiving yards. At number 2, the Orlando Apollos were the highest scoring team of the week with the biggest margin of victory. But the story here is efficiency, as they ran the fewest offensive plays of any team for the weekend, but were able to earn the most yards per play and the most points per drive of any team. And number 1, the Arizona Hotshots, the only team to make it through the weekend without a turnover. Quarterback John Wolford connected with 5 different receivers for gains of 20-plus yards, helping to drive their league-leading 416 yards.
So Cynthia Freeland, usually what she says, you guys, has some significant...
I think I would flip 2 and 3. I think I will put Birmingham at number 2, Orlando at number 3. But this, when you look at it, it's great to have another platform for guys to show their wear and to have an opportunity to keep playing football, something that you've been playing since you've been a kid, TD.
I love the rankings after the first week.
I know,
That's
right?
awesome, man,
Right.
because it gives you a chance to really get an idea of what these teams look like and what we think about them. But the most impressive team, she's right, the Hotshots to me. They just look by far the most exciting team out there, the explosive offense, good defense. So I think she's got it right.
Can we clown on her a little bit, though, all picking all the 1-0 teams? Isn't that kind of...
I think that's kind of part of the criteria. They have to win. You got to win first before you can get ranked. So I like that.
I think San Diego could maybe get in there.
If they can get their situation with the quarterback straight, because we know that Mike Martz's offense can score points. We've seen it in the NFL. It can score points. They got to have the right quarterback to fit that system, and then that offense will run.
Well, Mike Singletary and the Memphis Express have their work cut out for them tonight. They're going to have to play the Arizona Hotshots. That game coming up this evening for all of you Alliance viewers out there. You have to switch the dial, though, and tune in to the NFL Network to catch that one. Of course, we're going to finish the second half first here, though, on TNT. And you guys, when you look at that game, I mean, Mike Singletary really does have to get something going, right?
Yeah, I look at Mike, and I hope that somewhere along the line you don't want them to fall 0-2, but they're playing a really good football team, and if they can't get it straight and they can't get it figured out who's going to be their quarterback going forward and playing at a high level, it's going to be tough for that football team to win.
Christian Hackenberg is going to be under center at least to start with. I mean, this kid, though, how do we go from this kid was a second-round draft pick in the National Football League,
and you just wonder why when he was with the Jets that they didn't play him. I mean, so you're looking at this saying, what's going on with this play? And you come to this league and you think there's a chance for him to show what's going on. And I tell you what, it was not impressive the first outing out. So I think he's got a lot of work to do. I think they're trying to formulate an offense around what he does well. And just hope for the best, but it's been a struggle for him, to be honest with you.
I mean, that first game was a struggle. Is Silver going to come in and be that guy? Is Mettenberger going to be that guy? I mean, they have two other quarterbacks, so they have to figure out what they do well and let that offense run that way.
You'd like to give them the benefit of the doubt. After all, it is week one, and
trying.
these guys
Yeah,
have barely had a
We're
preseason.
trying.
So give him a little break. Maybe he'll come back and show us that he can play. All right, it is halftime here in Birmingham. After this break, the second half, the Salt Lake Stallions in Birmingham.
Can't stop coming together.
Anticipating.
Celebrating. You can't stop the players.
Can't stop the places.
Can't stop Sunday or Saturday.
They can't stop football.
Can't stop football.
They can't stop football, and they can't stop us.
The Alliance.
The Alliance of American Football.
The Alliance of American Football.
Do you remember the Black Dahlia murder? I found her. You found who?
Hello?
What's your name?
What's to you?
Maybe we can help each other.
I just want to know where I come from and who I am.
This girl, she's the key. And that's not all.
Your grandfather is a very important man.
There's more women. Do something!
You can't hide the truth. Forever.
I Am the Night. All new Mondays at 9. And watch anytime on demand and on the TNT app.
You are watching the Alliance of American Football on TNT. Getting ready for the second half here. It is 9-0 Salt Lake. Dennis Erickson and the Stallions trying to become the first road team to win in the Alliance. Moments ago in the halftime locker room.
Like you say, keep the foot on the throat, baby. Hey, offensively, we've got to play better. We've got to play better on offense. No question about it. Let's go out and control the ball on the ground and run it like we can. Defensively, just keep playing, baby. Keep playing. Okay, let's go get one. Let's go.
Well, Dennis Erickson, 6 years in the NFL. And he's got his Stallions ahead 9-0. Brian Anderson, Marvin Lewis, and Maurice Jones-Drew. So Salt Lake, you saw them last week. They look like a little bit of a different team. They're the ones taking advantage of turnovers.
Well, you have to run the ball in order to get Austin Allen going, continue to run the ball with Brandon Oliver. But I feel like Coach Erickson went back to 1989 when he was coaching the Hurricanes, saying, come on, baby, get this offense going because our defense is doing a great job.
Yeah, I think with Birmingham, their first drive was 13 plays, 45 yards, and since then, they've really basically done nothing. And they have 108 total yards at halftime. They've got to push the ball down the field.
That first drive ended in a missed field goal, a 53-yard field goal that was missed. As you take a look at the first half stats, brought to you by the Air National Guard. Trent Richardson rushing for Birmingham, 9 attempts, only 31 yards. And so they have not gotten much on the ground at all. And the muffed punt that turned into a fumble ended up as 6 points and a touchdown for Salt Lake. And then the failed fourth down conversion on the fake punt. Birmingham won the toss. They deferred. They'll have the ball to start this second half. Luis Perez, 12 for 19, throws for 88 yards. Richardson joins him in the backfield. Underway here in the second half in Birmingham. And nothing there. The Stallions close quickly.
This Schultz player right here, I mean, he is flying all over the ball, setting what we call a vertical edge, forcing the running back to have to stop his feet and try to bounce, Coach. That you can never have that. You can never let that happen.
Maurice, the running back has no opportunity to cut when Curtis Schultz has inverted the lineman already into him, taking away his cutback.
Now this defensive line for Salt Lake with Carter Schultz, who already has 2 sacks, and he had the stop on the failed fourth down conversion. Palapoy and Purcell, they've been excellent. In the gun, Perez and Richardson met quickly. Another loss. Will Davis closes fast on the running back out of the backfield.
You know, sometimes as a quarterback, when you get pressure on him early, he'll start to feel ghost. He'll start to see Casper come around him. I would love to see Perez look down the field more in that situation. Don't dump it to your running back. They're playing the check down right now.
They are. They've got to mix up their play calling. They're getting in these second and long situations, and they're trying to throw these balls in the 2 deep, 5 underneath zone.
Offensive coordinator Steve Logan.
Flat, check flat. Set, 48.
Another 3rd and long here.
They are 0 for 3, third down conversions. And across the middle, in and out of the hands. Maybe partially deflected by Williams. Intended receiver was Connor Davis. And it's going to be...
What I love about this Alliance League is just exactly like the NFL. It's week to week. You can't just rest on your laurels what you did week 1 here. Perez does a great job of getting the ball there, but as a tight end, you got to bring that in.
Yeah, I didn't see a deflection. That looked like it was clean.
Yeah, it was an opportunity to make a contested catch there. You got to come down and make those football plays.
Colton Schmidt will punt it away. DeMornay Pearsonell, former Nebraska Cornhusker, return man. And Pearsonell at about the 45-yard line, which is where the Salt Lake Stallions will begin their first possession of the second half. And Austin Allen finally got it going a little bit in that second quarter, but I think the pace of the Alliance play clock and his ability to get rid of the ball is in question here. We'll see how he performs as he settles in this game.
Yeah, Austin Allen had a couple of play clock issues, but, you know, when he didn't, he's proficient with the football. They got some throws in and out of his hand very quickly.
4 for 11, Allen throwing the ball. He'll give it this time to Boigno, and Boigno's got some room to run. It's a first down and more for Joel Boigno.
Good job.
Boigno scored the touchdown for Salt Lake. DeMornay Pearsonell with a good block to break him free.
Boigno is very patient. He allows the linemen to set up their blocks. Receivers are downfield blocking, which every running back loves. And then you're able to run on a safety. That's all you want to do for a gain of 15. I mean, that's how you start a half. That's how you go on the road and steal a victory.
Yeah, we heard Coach Erickson coming out of the locker room talk about being able to run the football to control this football game.
Another run to Boigno. This time, nothing there. The Iron closed it down quickly after a 15-yard pickup, a 1-yard gain on first down. It'll be 2nd and 9. That was Matthew Wells who was first to the ball carrier. Sales in on the tackle as well.
Coach, you've coached some top defenses. What do you say to a defense that didn't give up a touchdown the first game, and in the second game, you give up one and a field goal?
Well, they just have to keep playing snap-to-whistle football, down after down. Don't get frustrated here. Just keep playing. You see here now with the Salt Lake Stallions trying to spread them out a little bit and isolate.
Little play action. Allen finds his man. That's Pearsonell. He steps out of bounds. Excellent play action. Even got our cameraman. And a completion for Austin Allen. He looks a little more settled. That's an 18-yard pickup.
Well, Brian, you said Austin Allen had completed the 4 passes by...
From the Birmingham 21, Allen gives it. Boigno again finding some space. Well, he's shown great vision. He's found the edge. It's a 6-yard pickup.
Maurice, I think I might have been able to gain yards.
Coach, we're all getting clips. You and me both. Now, and I'm getting back in shape, too, so, I might have gave him 6 on that one. But this offensive line, they are doing what they want to do. They're going downhill. They're down blocking. They're moving forward. They're pulling tight ends around, and the running backs are patient, allowing these guys to set up their blocks.
This drive started at their own 45. Brandon Oliver joins Allen in the backfield now, and Oliver gets the ball. Oliver powers forward for a first down. He's inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal for Salt Lake after an 8-yard gain.
You know, so much of successful offensive football is taking your personnel and going through and executing your plays with what you have. And these guys are doing a great job of this in this football game, knowing they're going to come play with a young, less experienced quarterback. The fact that they've been downhill running the football at the Birmingham Iron today.
Averaging nearly 5 a carry. This time stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a 1-yard loss. Jeremy Falk was there first.
A little miscommunication there with the offensive line. Sometimes we call it B blocks or double teams. but no one blocks it down lineman. Two guys go up to the second level, but still running downhill. This is where the Salt Lake Stallions have been successful on offense. And last time they were in this position, Asiata fumbled, but they had a good gains of running the ball.
When you play against good movement defenses like that, once in a while they're going to zig and zag and make a play. You can't get spooked out of it as the offensive play caller.
Allen fires, and it is in and out of the hands of Jennings. Adonis Jennings with a drop.
You got to make those catches. Young quarterback, you have to catch the ball. When you have a young guy there at the under center, everyone else has to pick up their play. And what I mean by pick up your play is just do your job. Nothing else. Just do your job.
Do your job. They would have make it a 3rd and 3 here and have an opportunity now. Now they've got a 3rd and longer situation going on. 3rd and goal. We know how crucial red zone defense here is in the Alliance.
I was able to work with a lot of quarterbacks in my career, Coach, and I'd always listen to the quarterback coach talk about how you're supposed to throw the ball in the red zone. In the body of the receiver, because the windows are so tight, you want those receivers to be able to use their body to catch the ball and get their feet in bounds.
Wake up! Play action. Fires to the end zone, and it's in and out of the hands of Pearsonell. On the coverage for Birmingham was Max Redfield.
I got to real feel good about that throw by Austin right here. Austin Allen, great football throw here, coming off the read action, the RPO, and he puts it up on the numbers.
He puts it in his body, Coach.
That's what you just said,
He does exactly what you're supposed to do. Receiver, you got to make a play on that. You have to, I don't care if there's 3 guys on you. You have to find a way to catch that to help keep the confidence of your young quarterback.
He made a 53-yarder, did Bertolet. This is from 27. And it's mishandled. The snap was low. Rico, the punter, heaves one. And an incomplete pass. And Salt Lake has a drive stalled. Looked like the snap from Colton Taylor was low. And the Stallions come up empty. A gift for the Iron of Birmingham. They'll take over at their own 9 when we come back.
We're family. We'd do anything for each other. But this time, those bonds were definitely tested.
Frog leg for my baby brother.
Don't frogs have, 2 legs? So they should have 2 of these? Since I'm active duty and she's family, I was able to set my sister up with a sweet membership from Navy Federal. If you hold it closer, it looks bigger.
Eat your food.
My big sis likes to make tiny food, and I'm okay with that.
Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
Skycam brought to you today by Wheels Up. So Birmingham takes over at their own 9. And a very impressive first drive of the second half for Salt Lake ends in 0 points.
Yeah, I gave the long snapper, Colton Taylor, a great job first time around on the 53-yard field goal, their whole snap and their whole process. And here we have a low snap. It makes the difference here.
First go round as a professional, Taylor, coming out of Virginia Tech. Here is Perez. He gives it to Richardson. Richardson spins his way to about a 5-yard gain, maybe 4.
Brian Maurice, we talk about these other position players and their opportunity to prove and show they deserve opportunity in the National Football League. But a long snapper, this is the only live reps he's going to get is in situations like this that we have here in the Alliance.
And those are the guys that probably had the best opportunity to go to the NFL, right?
There's no question about it because, as you know, if you're a long snapper in the National Football League, you play 15, 16 years, you keep yourself in shape, and you don't ever screw up.
Yeah. And your name is never called in the broadcast.
Never called. That's what you said.
Another give to Richardson. And again, Salt Lake closing it down. I'll tell you, their defensive line has been excellent today. Carter Schultz, Palapoy, Salinga, Purcell. And these are guys with NFL experience outside of Carter Schultz. who was in camp for Cleveland 2 years ago.
And Carolina before that, and that was the big play there by number 97, Eddie Wilson there as well. So they've got a rotation of players, which you want to have to keep these guys fresh so they're coming after the quarterback and really dominating the line of scrimmage.
Dennis Erickson thought his lines were going to be the strength of this team, O-line and D-line. It showed up today. Little play action, Perez under duress gets the pass off. It's caught by Richardson. He's got room to run. Richardson down the sideline to the 35-yard line. A big pickup of 23 yards.
Boy, Maurice, you can hear the crowd get into that with the Birmingham there. You got one of the local guys making a big play and a much-needed big play at a crucial time here.
Well, as a running back, we always tell the quarterback, we are the best investment in football because you can throw the ball 2 yards and we can take it 60. But in this situation, Perez is looking down the field and he just tries to chuck it out to where he thinks Richardson is. Great job by Richardson catching the ball and making plays. I mean, Trent, a guy that we've seen do this at Alabama. We've seen him do this for the Browns and the Colts when he was in the NFL as well.
Yeah, great job by Trent Richardson there. We have a little play call issue now, so Birmingham has to spend one of their timeouts here.
One of the three in the second half. Big play. 1st and 10, Birmingham after this.
Here's the thing. 52% of guys experience erectile dysfunction, but 0% like talking about it. That's why we built Roman. For the first time ever, you can get ED meds prescribed online, shipped discreetly to your door. Chat online with U.S. licensed physicians. And get FDA-approved medication, all in single-dose packaging. No more waiting rooms, awkward talks, or lines at the pharmacy. Get started with your free online visit at GetRoman.com/TV.
First down, Birmingham. Today's quarterback comparison brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. What do you see here, Maurice?
Well, when you talk about Luis Perez, seems like it's a lot of checkdowns here, but he's getting completions. They're moving the ball. With Austin Allen, it's as of late. He's starting to get going. He had that slow first quarter. He got it going, but they both struggle in the red zone. That's what you're seeing here.
What was your advice for Austin Allen when we hit the air? Protect the ball. No turnovers.
You can win the game like that. There you have it.
Salt Lake has missed on a couple of opportunities. They had the ball in the first quarter down near the end zone. Asiata with a fumble. Had a bad snap on a field goal attempt. Came away that last drive with no points. 9-0 Salt Lake. Birmingham with the ball. And Perez in the play action. Turns and fires. Got his man. Wesley Saunders. The ball pops out. Recovered by Salt Lake. The question is, was he down or not? Close one. Trevor Riley recovers the fumble.
Brian, this is literally the opposite of what we saw in last week's game, Maurice, is the fact that Birmingham did such a great job of taking care of the football, moving the football, and here today we see these costly turnovers that are making a huge difference in this football game.
Yeah, it's out. It's clean.
And there's your guy that we talked to Coach Erickson about, Trevor Riley, Johnny on the spot, punches the ball out, ball pops right to him, is able to pick it up. Defense, and Coach, I was on the offensive side in the NFL and in college, but I was all-state safety at one point in high school. Well, I'll tell you what, good things happen to guys who run to the ball. Am I right or wrong?
You saw me shake my head on that.
Cover guy.
I was an outside linebacker.
Oliver able to turn the corner, stays on his feet, picks up a couple of extra yards.
They've really done a great job with this open side counter today.
Yes.
And taking advantage, as you said, of blocking that edge.
There's two ways to get after the run here, and we'll see it. They're going to set an edge here. They're going to pull around with these two guys, set it, and come back, and that's what you're looking for. You're trying to find a way to cut this 3-4 defense in half and get guys flowing when you have fast foot linebackers.
Yeah, they're utilizing those tight ends, those big tight ends that come around as pullers because they're better athletes than the offensive guards.
Oh, a surge for the first down on the run from Brandon Oliver. Good push by the offensive line.
To me, tight ends, guys, are the ultimate mismatch in the game because it forces you to stay in base personnel. But if you stay in base personnel, it means you're going to have a linebacker covering a tight end or a safety, and that's our advantage. And then also, if you go to sub, where you're going to bring a smaller guy on the field, we can now run the ball at you, and that's what you're seeing the Stallions do.
to see number 34, Terrell Newby, check in. Coach Erickson really felt like that he provided a great change of pace for their game and had a great week of practice and was really excited about giving him an opportunity today in this game.
False start. Offense, number 85, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Nick Truesdale, a little eager.
Austin Allen's yelling at his line because they're like, hey, you got to go faster. He goes, I'm waiting on coverage because they're rolling, because he's still trying to identify what's going on. And those things will happen faster the more reps he gets.
We have heard some interaction. That's the beauty of this league right now. We're kind of getting inside the game. You guys know it so well, but for the rest of us, this is fascinating. We heard some of his offensive linemen kind of barking at Austin Allen. Get the ball out, let's go. And he's giving it back to him now. In the gun, fires across the middle, nothing there. And was it intercepted? Looked like it hit the ground. Yeah, it'll be an incomplete pass.
Mechanically there, Austin Allen just didn't look real comfortable on that throw there, Maurice. You know, he's done a nice job today, lately. And this throw here was not. He's got to get his feet set, open it up, and get the ball out there. Make a good throw.
We talk about it, Coach, all the time, trying to throw in conviction. Being able to trust the throw and trust the players being there. When you're the third quarterback in training camp, how many reps do you actually get?
Yeah, you're not getting many reps, and you got to take full advantage of them as we come. And I'm sure this week he got a chance to get more reps.
They are going to challenge this, I think. I thought it clearly hit the ground.
I did also, Brian. I agree. I thought the ball hit the ground.
It looked for a moment.
I have to be in control of that red challenge flag. You don't always get the looks that the people at home or in the stadium get on TV, and you've got to make a split-second decision. So sometimes people, they feel like, why didn't you throw the flag? You just don't get an opportunity.
Okay, what we're looking at is whether the ball hit the ground. We have a clear picture that the ball hit the ground. So the call on the field is confirmed. Okay. Can you hear me? The ruling on the field was an incomplete pass, correct? Hello? Okay, I'm having a hard time hearing you. Somebody else say it. What was the ruling on the field? Yes. If the ruling on the field was an incomplete pass, you will confirm that it's an incomplete pass. That is correct.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It's an incomplete pass. It will be second down. Birmingham is charged their second time out of the game. They also have one challenge left for the remainder of the game.
Maurice and Brian, that's a huge, the play, the challenge by Coach Lewis, and the fact that it is upheld, the fact that it's incomplete. Now they go down to one timeout left in a game that they're behind now by 2 scores.
Well, on our call, guys, Coach Lewis said he's still learning to be a head coach. He's still understanding the nuances of the game, and with every game, he's going to have confidence, and he'll be a better suited for that position.
So it'll be 2nd and 15 here after the incomplete pass. Terrell Newby in the backfield. Play action with him, and they dump it off Truesdale. And Truesdale wrestling his way, lost the ball. I think he was down. The whistles would indicate that. A short pickup for Salt Lake. Good effort by Truesdale. Just couldn't get out of the clutches.
Down prior to losing possession. It'll be third down.
I love the effort, Coach, but I want the ball more right now. You're not close to the first down. There's no reason to stretch. You're not going to put us in a better situation with a yard. We're still going to be in 3rd and long. Just protect the ball. You see the ball's kind of popping all over the place. Just have the ball on 3rd down so we can make it happen.
A little bit the inexperience of some of these guys shows, but another fine play there by number 54, Matthew Wells.
Here's Allen backing up, fires a strike, hits his man Newby. And on 3rd and 13, a 4-yard pickup. And decision time here for Dennis Erickson. Up 9-0. Salt Lake scoring points off a Birmingham fumble. A field goal off a Birmingham failed conversion on a fake field goal.
Well, football is a forgiving sport because Colton Taylor has an opportunity to come back out and have a better snap.
Great opportunity to redeem himself right here.
This will be a 50-yarder. Oh, it hit the upright, no good. Hit it flush, too. Comes right back. And another missed opportunity for Salt Lake.
Yeah, again, the field position swings on a missed field goal are huge.
Still 9-0. Missed field goal gives the ball back to the Iron.
Our hardware and software creates an opportunity for fans to be able to play a digital game that we've created in real time for the first time, truly real time, unlike anything that exists.
We are building fantasy, but instead of a fantasy that is, based on the whole season or based on the weekend, it's fantasy that happens play by play. All of a sudden, you've gone from being the general manager of the team to being the coach of the team.
That app is #1 in both the Google and Apple stores. If you download it now, there are all sorts of Easter eggs in there. See what you can find out and enjoy. Spring football, it's the Alliance on TNT. See the Birmingham drives. Fantastic to start this game, Maurice. They went 12 plays, 45 yards, but missed the field goal, and it has been a struggle since.
Somehow, you got to get back to that first 15, the first 20 plays that you script, because what you're doing now, you just lost the flow of the game. And Luis Perez is such a rhythm thrower. Get him going early. He may take off, but if you struggle, it'll be hard for him to get back on track.
Really, they owned the time of possession in their game last week, and here we're seeing almost the opposite of that today against the Salt Lake Stallions.
Luis Perez with Ladarius Perkins in the backfield. Play action. Perez still searching and throws it away. In pursuit was Palapoy.
I'm really impressed today with the edges of the Salt Lake Stallion defense. They've done a great job of taking away these naked throws, bootlegs, waggles, and so forth that Birmingham was so effective with last week against Memphis.
Well, the funny thing is, remember last week against Arizona, too. Arizona attacked those edges by blocking down with 2 tight ends. Coach Donnie Henderson was very, very critical of his defense, and they've corrected it.
Back in the air, dumps it off. This is Perkins now. Perkins spins, and Perkins finally taken down. That'll be a 4-yard gain. Perkins, the best out of the backfield among the running backs for Birmingham.
Yeah, here's another look. We're going to see again this 2-deep zone. Great job trying to hold that middle backer and try to clear down the field with the middle read. And 25 Will coming up and making a great play there.
I would have loved to see Luis Perez throw it to that slot defender who was right there on the post, and the linebacker was still there. Throw on the back shoulder.
Will Davis, another fine play.
Another 3rd down opportunity here for the Iron. Perkins, and just nothing there. Another excellent play by Will Davis. Back-to-back plays for the cornerback from Utah State, a former 3rd rounder back in the 2014 draft by Miami.
Will Davis, when he came out in the draft, he had a lot of physical talent, physical ability, played at a very high level there at Utah State. They were playing great defense. A lot of guys across the National Football League were playing defense there at Utah State.
Davis, 25 games over 2 years with the Dolphins. He was traded to Baltimore. A couple of big plays, forces a punt. It's Pearsonell receiving. Pearsonell greeted quickly. The ball is loose. It was stripped by Saunders, and it's in the end zone. Who's got it? It is, what's the call? Salmon ends up with the ball. I thought Summers had it initially. Touchdown, Birmingham.
Special teams changing games, Coach.
Changing games.
Offense is struggling a little bit. Defense is doing their job. But special teams with the huge play.
This is Jamar Summers to force the fumble.
Now that's going to be a close. I think the Salt Lake Stallions are going to challenge that, because I felt like Pearson dropped to his knees before the ball was ripped out. But still, the electricity in the building, you could feel it.
Yeah, you got to feel it. Again, Jamar Summers coming up with another big play. Shaheed Sam picking it up. Great, staying after the football, keeping it alive and recovering it in the end zone. That's what you want to teach those defensive guys. As you're trying to scoop it up, you keep scooping it towards your goal line.
Hey, everyone does it.
Have a challenge here. Dennis Erickson.
On the field, there was a fumble in the field play, recovered in the end zone by the kicking team, which results in a touchdown. The coach, Salt Lake City's head coach, is challenging the ruling on the field of a fumble. The previous play is under review.
And so Robert Liu, the replay official.
Go ahead. Okay.
He's good. He's good.
Okay, Trey, we're double checking one view, but right now it looks like his knee was down before the ball came out. Okay. His knee is a ball.
That's close.
Hold on. I'm going to take a look at E again. Hold on. No, because I can still see ball right here, and then it gets ripped. Okay? Knee is down. What do you think? Knee is down. I can still see ball in his hand. Your opinion? I see ball. I mean, I can't see the complete ball. The problem is the ball. Okay, Trey, here's the problem here. We're going to have to let the ruling on the field stand because we cannot see the ball in any of these replays, whether it's loose before his knee came on the ground. Okay?
Wow, that's a big call. And now
Brian,
Trey Blake.
It's a huge call.
Trey, I can't hear you.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. The result of the play is a touchdown.
Oh. I really feel like, guys, you getting a first-hand look at what a head coach goes through. Woo. Because you just don't know whether they have the right look from the truck that presents the angles, the opportunity to see whether or not we can make a change of ruling.
Well, and on the NFL field, remember, there's going to be 23, 24 cameras. Probably on this field, there's probably about 5 or 6. So you got to make sure you're getting the angle and try to make a play here. Another 2-point play. You have a new quarterback in that can run.
Keith Price will enter this game here. 2-point conversion. Remember, no PATs with the kick. So it is Price, number 2 quarterback, and he is down. And once again, it is Carter Schultz.
Carter Schultz.
He's had a great game.
You know, we talked a lot about this a week ago, Maurice, the fact that we're playing 11-11 football in these 2-point situations where you want to make the defense have to play and cover each and every, be responsible for each and every player out there. And a great job here by the Salt Lake Stallion defense.
It's so funny, up here, I knew Price was going to keep the ball because guess what? This is probably his only play he's going to be on the field, so he wants his name to be called. Schultz understood that as well. Was like, hey, I'm going to give the illusion I'm going to take the running back, but I'm going to go and get you and get a tackle for loss.
We got us a football game here, though.
Carter Schultz, he's had 1 forced fumble, 2 sacks, had the stop on the 4th down conversion, and now it is Salt Lake ball. It is 9-6, a huge call, called on the field as a fumble, and it stayed. And now Birmingham right back in it as Allen goes to the air. And that is a catch for Leslie. First down, Salt Lake. Jordan Leslie with the reception. 13-yard pickup.
They ran this play in the first half. They called him out of bounds. This time, Leslie says, you're not going to do that to me again. I'm going to catch it. I'm going to make sure you see the first foot down, and then I'm going to drag the thing. Nate Burleson calls that toe drag swag on Good Morning Football. So you got to kind of get in tune with it a little bit.
Made his props there.
That's my guy.
First catch for Leslie. Buonio. 2-yard gain for Joel Buonio.
You know, we see today with Buonio here. Here's that open side counter play. Again, being run with the tight end. We got one offensive lineman coming across and pulling, and using the second tight end to be the second puller.
Also, you're starting to see, they've made some adjustments at halftime and on the sidelines. You're seeing the energy. You're seeing guys get to their spots a little bit quicker with a little bit more pizzazz.
Yeah, the momentum was a definite swing to Birmingham, but Buonio powers his way near a first down. It's a 9th carry for Joel Buonio. He's up over 50 yards now. That's a 6-yard gain.
Maurice, you got to love Buonio's vision and how he runs behind his pads with the football.
Very patient. I was once told by the great Fred Taylor of the Jacksonville Jaguars, you got to be slow to the hole and fast through it. So many young running backs want to be fast through the hole and just try to get there. Patience is a key. You're seeing that with Buonio here.
Salt Lake is 1 for 8 on third down conversions today. Coming to the end of the third quarter. Buonio again. He'll get it. Buonio trying to get to the edge. Does so. Turns it upfield. Buonio on the run. Down to the Birmingham 30 on 3rd and 2. 24-yard pickup for Joel Buonio.
Coach, no edge, no chance here. Where's my edge defender we have right here? You have to set this edge. You can't let the running back bounce and get outside. We don't have that.
Yeah, you say safety Max Redfield has to come across here, and he's not able to hold contain, and the ball is able to bounce outside. And that's, again, a great job by the offensive runner, being very patient, letting everything happen, and knocking down the edge, and then now he ran into the open grass.
Takes him over 100 yards rushing. Buonio with 108 yards on 10 carries, a 23-yard pickup. And it's first down for Salt Lake on the Birmingham 30. So just as it feels like Birmingham's got the momentum back, getting the recovery on the punt for a touchdown, crowds into it. Salt Lake moves the chains.
The running game, it'll not only will it take your will, it'll take the momentum from a team as well. When a defense is flying high and they're feeling confident, if you can continue to get first downs, you'll wear that defense down and get bigger plays, inadvertently getting the momentum back to your side.
Yeah, when you're running the football, and that's mano a mano, so you're beating everybody up at the line of scrimmage.
Asiata gets a carry this time. Short gain. They continue the ground game. 185 total yards of rushing right now for Salt Lake compared to Birmingham's 31 yards. And this is going to take us to the end of the third quarter. So a big moment in the game, a call that didn't go the way of Salt Lake. It was a touchdown for Birmingham, but the Stallions are on the move as we head to the fourth quarter. You're watching The Alliance on TNT.
So I've decided to blow up Earth.
Hey, God. Still got a lot of fans down there.
Do you know how long it's been since someone sacrificed a ram to me?
I thought that grossed you out.
No, it did, but at the same time, there was something nice about it.
We've got to do something.
Who wants to help me save this planet?
Here's to the team.
Cheers.
Miracle Workers, all new Tuesdays at 10:30 on TBS and the app.
It'll be showtime in Charlotte when the lights kick up for State Farm All-Star Saturday night. Speed and ability is put to the test in the Taco Bell Skills Challenge. Then, the Mountain Dew three-point contest settles scores for top marksmen.
He's making it way down.
The night is topped with the fan-favorite AT&T Slam Dunk Contest. In return for Sunday's All-Star Game presented by Kia. Coverage begins tonight at 7 on TNT.
TNT's I Am the Night is a must-see TV drama.
You remember the Black Dahlia murder?
On the next I Am the Night.
I'm gonna find out everything. And I don't care what it breaks.
I'm very disappointed you lost her. Find her.
I see you did before I let them take you. You can't hide the truth. Forever.
I Am the Night. All new Mondays at 9 on TNT. And watch anytime on demand and on the TNT app.
It is the end of the third quarter in Birmingham, where the Stallions lead the Alliance by a score of 9-6. Welcome into our Alliance All Access studios. Alex Flanagan alongside Cynthia Freeland and Rod Woodson. And Rod, man, a big defensive play towards the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, a punt team is an extension of the defense. So, Salmon getting that strips, turnover and fumble, going into the end zone, getting them 6 points. That's taking a lot of pressure off this football team. They haven't played well, but they're still in it.
Birmingham certainly looks to need to get the offense moving, right, Cynthia?
Yeah, we've seen them only rush for 31 total yards, so that's a huge difference considering Salt Lake has about 3 times as many rushing yards, especially on those outside runs. So we saw a little bit of tempo with that last drive for the Iron, but we were talking about it. In the green room, we were saying short passes, get the tempo going, kind of get them in a rhythm so that their run game, if it's not going to work or they're not going to abandon it, they can make up for it with short passes.
All right.
I like to see Perez doing some short passes, the extension of the running game. That'll take the pressure off him trying to throw the ball down the field.
All right, let's get the viewers back out to the fourth quarter now of the Birmingham Iron and the Salt Lake Stallions. Brian Anderson, back out to you guys.
Lady, they call it. Not Alex. That's what they call Legion Field.
Really?
The old gray lady. That's right.
You learn something every day.
Been around since 1927. If Birmingham can get the ball back and execute with Luis Perez, but it is the Stallions that are driving here. Austin Allen up 9-6 inside the 30 on a 2nd and 8. And Allen in trouble, and down he goes. Beniquez Brown with the sack and a response by the Iron defense.
With the 3-4 defense, the ability to rush one of the inside linebackers, having the outside linebacker drop into coverage, and again, he beats. Out of time here if they don't get the snap off here in a second.
And this is big, and they don't get it off. And it was already going to be a 49-yard field goal. Bertolet has already hit a 53-yarder. Oh, what a penalty. What a time for a penalty for Dennis Erickson Stallions.
Well, the Stallions pretty much iced their own kicker here. We'll see how this works out.
Well, it looked like he would have made it with that extra 5, so let's see if he can put that same energy and leg swing into it and get that connection with the football.
Kick for Texas A&M at the collegiate level. Time with the Jets and the Broncos in the preseason. He's made a 53-yarder. Salt Lake has already mishandled a field goal attempt on a bad snap, and they have a missed field goal as well. This one's up, and this one is pulled to the left.
I know you saw that there with Brian and Maurice. The laces were facing the kicker. And again, the snapper, that's his job to get the laces away.
Another missed opportunity. Penalty hurt him this time. Birmingham ball.
This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me.
Skycam is brought to you today by Wheels Up. One of the missed opportunities for Salt Lake. A glaring headline today. The Asiata fumble in the first quarter, a bad snap on a field goal attempt, and 2 missed field goals. This one set up by a penalty.
So much of this process is to make sure that the snapper and the holder, it's all together. And when I first looked at it, I thought maybe the laces were pointing back towards the kicker, but it looks like, again, it's just a missed kick, a missed execution by the kicker there.
Well, it looks like we're set up for a good finish here. Fourth quarter, first of 4 games in the Alliance this weekend. 2 today, 2 tomorrow. Luis Perez in the gun. He's got Richardson in the backfield with him. Perez to pass. Rifles one and deflected. Another terrific play by Will Davis. He has been all over the field here in the second half.
Yeah, Will Davis sinking back into that cover 2 zone. Now, you know, and so many times, Coach, let's educate our listeners here. Cover 2, Luis Perez is going to see it. He's going to see the corner route, but the flat goes from, at least from my knowledge, 5 yards to 15.
Well, you're really always trying to coach the guys to play deep to shallow. Make him throw the ball into the shallow, and let's drive up, which we've seen many times here today.
Penalty. Is it a free one? Richardson to catch. Richardson plows his way near a first down. And the spot would tell you he got it. 10-yard gain. We'll see what the call is from Trey Blake, our referee.
You know, we still have a close football game.
Number 97. That penalty is declined. His own play is a first down.
I love the way Trent Richardson finished this run, guys. I mean, when you're a running back, we're going to get the false start. I get it. And the quarterback's supposed to take the shot. But when Perez gets the ball to the running back and he gets it to you early in the flat, your job is to turn around and punish the next guy to you when you're finishing your run. So they don't want to tackle you again later in the game.
Yeah, Trent Richardson hasn't had a lot of yards on the run today, but he's got 4 catches for 38 yards going on.
27 yards rushing for Richardson. And now Perez. And it's incomplete. Brown on the coverage. Patton, who had 4 catches last week, looking for an interference call there. Not the case. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Maurice and Brian, another good look at this 2-deep zone that Coach Henderson they're really relying on today, and the sink of the cornerback back, making it a tight window with the safety coming over there, and then making a great contested play. Cody Brown on the football there.
That's a great play by the safety, going over the top, trying to go for the ball.
Set. 48. Blue 48, head up.
Perez into the flat. Richardson. And forced out of bounds on a 4-yard pickup. C.J. Smith for the tackle. Well, big third down coming here for Birmingham. They're down 3. Richardson with 5 receptions now for 42 yards. 47 yards on the ground for Richardson. I beg your pardon, 27 yards on the ground.
This is a big down here, 3rd and 6 now. We got to complete and make this conversion here, and then the opportunity to take one of these shots down the middle of the field.
Blue 88, head up.
Incomplete. Set up a 4th down. And look who's right in the face of Luis Perez. Carter Schultz. Another hurry for the defensive lineman from Northern Iowa.
You'll see the spin move here by Carter Schultz.
Oh, great move to get inside. The play call is there for man. You're trying to get a wheel, get some cross-arounds, get some guys picked off. But the Stallions run zone, and then in the zone, you're supposed to stop in the dead area. But what I do love about this is Perez telling everybody what they have to do. You have a wheel. You have this. You have that. He has great command of this offense.
And that's really the difference when we started out this football game. When we started out this football game, when we were seeing the shallow crosses they were completing. And then, they were running and driving and making the first downs, and that's the difference now.
Schultz and the Stallions hold serve. Salt Lake ball after this.
This is the greatest stage in all of sports.
This team has got a chance to make history.
All season long, and it comes down to this.
You remember the Black Dahlia murder? This girl, she's the key.
I'm nobody.
You sure about that?
Your mother destroyed our family.
Truth is in your veins.
It's not just the police. It's not just a movie, people. You can't touch him.
He's more than a doctor. He's a genius. You know what's gonna happen? Maybe already happened, so do something! You gotta remember where you are.
I don't want to go home.
Well, you are home.
I Am the Night. All new Mondays at 9. And watch anytime on demand and on the TNT app.
Salt Lake has the ball and the lead. It is 9-6. Just shy of 12 minutes remaining. There you see the numbers for Austin Allen making his first start in the Alliance. Salt Lake's starter last week, Josh Woodrum, out with a hamstring injury.
You know, we see Austin Allen's numbers, but what you got to understand is the fact they've been able to rush the football today, and 112 yards on the game in rushing.
Fourth possession of the second half for Salt Lake, and nothing there for Brandon Oliver. First three possessions of this half, Salt Lake has had a fumbled snap on a field goal attempt, and then two missed field goals for their three possessions. There's Josh Woodrum, hamstring injury, unable to play this week, has some NFL experience. He was the first-round pick of Salt Lake in their quarterback draft here in the Alliance. But they go to third on the depth chart today with Austin Allen. Looking to pass it, finds his running back. And Oliver is dropped quickly on the coverage. Jamar Summers.
He's been having a great 2 weeks, Summers. I mean, last week has a pick, great cover skills guy. And some believe that after this season, Coach, he may be in the NFL because of what he's been able to do through the first couple weeks.
I think he's really showing people that he deserves opportunity to have the opportunity back in the National Football League on a football side.
2 out of 10 third down conversions for Salt Lake. It's 3rd and 7. Allen, plenty of time, and it's deflected at the line of scrimmage with the big pause. Nick James.
We have ourselves a ball game. Defenses are starting to get back going.
Yeah.
Special teams are making plays.
I think it was number 63, Jeremy Folk again.
Yeah, you're right. Good
who's
call,
had a
Coach.
big football game this today, and a nice job here preventing the third down conversion again.
Yeah, you could hear Austin Allen say, "I had him," but the deflection by Jeremy Falk, and it's a punt for Salt Lake. That's Quan Bray. And Bray near midfield. Birmingham with the ball, down 3. 10:33 remaining in regulation in Birmingham.
You know, Maurice, what I've been really impressed with is the fact that these coverage teams have been so good in the punt coverage. Now, we've had a couple miscues as far as fielding punts,
right?
But the coverage teams have been excellent, not allowing many returns, you know, just 6-7 yard returns.
You know, there's a lot of upside here for this Birmingham Irons team. As bad as you played offensively, you're still in this game. And if you can put together one drive, Coach, you have a chance to win this game and still go home happy.
Good shot there, special teams coach Ray Ruslewski.
They'll draw. Ty Isaac, the runner. Steve Logan, offensive coordinator for Birmingham. Last week in the fourth quarter, 12 minutes of the 15-minute quarter, Birmingham en route to a shutout. They had 0 passes, and they controlled the ball and controlled the time on the clock of possession.
Yeah, Trent Richardson really had a huge fourth quarter in their game last week.
2 touchdowns for Richardson in the fourth. Isaac again in the backfield. Across the middle, and it is caught. Lavoisier Felton on the reception. It's a short gain of 5. And it'll be 3rd and 3 now for Birmingham. Steve Logan.
What I love about Perez is that he finds matchups, Coach. I'm going to find a receiver on a linebacker, get the ball out quick. I'm going to find my running back on a linebacker, get the ball out quick. If I like my receivers, I'm going to try to get the ball to them where they can have run after catch.
3rd and 3.
Yeah,
and first down. Isaac with the catch. He is walloped But I think his momentum had him across the first down marker. We'll see about the spot.
That second down play of 4 yards was huge there because it now created a 3rd and 3 rather than these 3rd, 7, and 8s that they've been had throughout most of the football game.
Great job by Perez here, looking down the field, letting the coverage go out, and then checking it down to his running back. But I just want Isaac to go forward.
We're going to have an opportunity here, Maurice, where they're going to hit this 2-deep zone, try to hit it down the middle of the field. You can see the double route by the inside guy, and sooner or later he's going to take that shot.
And there it is, and Patton. Well, Brown's saying it hit the ground.
Every DB, Brian, is going to say the ball hit the ground. Trust me. If you can catch it and score it, he's going to be waving his hands like incomplete.
Quentin Patton went over 100 yards in receiving last week. And a catch to move the chains again. Best drive of the game for Birmingham.
Great throw, great catch.
Good job on the body.
Good camera work. Here's Perez again. He's got 22 completions. Going across the middle, and it is incomplete. Left it short. It was Micah Hanneman defending.
Brian and Maurice, you see this Birmingham Iron offense really trying to attack the middle. The weakness of 2-deep zone is down the middle of the field. They're going to try to hold this backer and work it inside with what we call a juke route, which would be a double route where he switches to the flat and then back up in, really putting isolation on those safeties.
And if Perez was a little more patient, they had another receiver. I couldn't see the number, breaking in about 15 to 20 yards. With all that coverage going deep, throw it to him, you may have just an easy walk-in touchdown.
They'll give it to Richardson.
There's that man again, number 94, Carter Schultz, coming off that open side, collapsing down and preventing that run from getting up in there.
But just when you want to test the waters to see if the excellent passing game has opened up any space, it has not with the Stallions defense.
This defensive line is doing a phenomenal job, but Schultz, again, Coach, you hit it. He is just finding ways to disrupt this offense, both in the passing game and in the running game.
He could add 4 hurries to his statistics.
And that's why we're not seeing a big opportunity to hold the ball to get it down the field like I keep saying. We have to take care of him.
It's 3rd and 10. Luis Perez under pressure's got his man. It's Patton who leans forward for the first down.
Boy, that's a nice football play by Quentin Patton. Really shows his legs and energy to push forward and get that first down.
Flags come in as they jaw after the play. Patton is fired up. At a 42-yard reception last week. Talking to Steve Logan before this game today, Marvin, he was talking about the inability for the big play in the exhibition schedule on the 7v7s and in the exhibition game. But they had some big play potential last week. That was a big play for him.
Great development of the play there. They run the shallow cross around, and then he goes and hits the zone in behind. And again, I'm going to put my coach's hat on here now and understand that we can't have that after the play now. We just make a big play. We want to make sure we keep that first down and an opportunity to win this football game.
One against each team. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense, number 57. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Offense, number 15. Those penalties offset.
Okay, so the officials just kept it going.
Coach, you've had a lot of experience with those type of things. I'm going to lean on you in that situation, and that's okay. You know, but as a player, we understand it's a little fiery in there. And I love it because Patton comes out and gives you the emphatic first down mark. Get the crowd back into it. This is a chance to take the game over.
Gianni Paul had his hand up underneath the mask. He took issue with that, Maurice.
We all do sometimes.
They give it to Richardson. Again, bottled up nicely. Palapoy, Tenny Palapoy, played his college ball at Utah. In 15 games with the Chargers a couple of years ago. He's been excellent. He and Purcell and Carter Schultz. Red zone's been a challenge.
It's been a challenge. It really, in the game last week where they were stopped, you see there with they kicked 3 field goals with Nick Novak last week. But again, now we're underneath. We're getting into that underneath 6-minute mark where this is where the game comes down to me or you. Yes. And that's what it's coming down to right here.
Just got it off. Perez. Richardson still on his feet. A helmet is off. Just shy of the first down. Nice pickup. Johnny Paul lost his helmet. Richardson lowered the boom on him, and this Birmingham drive continues.
Brian Maurice hit me with his head there. He led with his head on that. He got excited again.
Coach, I'm telling you, running backs, they're starting to help out this offense a little bit with this deep coverage, making you check down. But you know what I love about it? We talked about it before this drive. No matter what happens, if you go down and put the ball in the paint, this is going to be a great day for you because your defense has been playing lights out.
It's a big tackle by Trevor Riley. Makes it 3rd and 1.
2 downs here, Maurice.
Give it to Richardson. And he's across the line for a first down. It'll set up 1st and goal for Birmingham. Richardson powers his way to a first down.
As a coach here, I am not settling for a field goal. We will win this game on this drive because, again, it's about setting a standard and understanding that we're not here to tie. We're not here to go into overtime. We have the ball inside our 5-yard line. We are going to score.
I'm 100% with you here, Maurice. 1st and goal now. This is going to be big. This is big. We got to finish this and put our foot on their backs.
Give it to Richardson. And did he get across? It is a touchdown or not? What's the call here? Richardson is across. Touchdown, Birmingham. The Iron has the lead.
When your offense struggles throwing the ball.
I don't blame
When you're
him.
not feeling well, coach, when you're not doing okay, guess what? Turn around and hand the ball off. It cures everything.
Well, again, it's another 4th quarter drive. Great running here and big plays by Trent Richardson in the 4th quarter once again.
And I don't blame him for not spiking this one. That's an expensive football. Got him in trouble last week.
Got him in a little trouble last week.
I'll just hang on to it this time.
That's what we're all doing. We're all learning here.
Two-point conversion. Now that's a 5-minute, 53-second drive that started in great field position at their own 46. 11 plays.
Hey, you're ready, okay?
They're up 3. Huge conversion attempt here with 4:40 left. Quick release, incomplete. And Salt Lake still within field goal range. 4:40 left. Birmingham, an 11-play drive. They score the touchdown behind Trent Richardson, his 3rd of the year. It's 12-9. Salt Lake ball after this. (12-9), and a huge recovered in the end zone for a touchdown. It went to a challenge, and the call would stand. Recovery there by Shaheed Salmon. The strip from Jamar Summers. 2 possessions later, Birmingham drives it down to score the touchdown and their first lead of the day.
And as a Salt Lake Stallions, this is where you didn't want to be. In a situation where you have to lean on your young quarterback to try to get you back into the game.
Austin Allen.
Lady! Wake up!
Across the middle. Pearsonell wrapped up quickly. That was Joe Powell with the tackle.
I know, I'm thinking you're going to sit.
You know, Joe Powell stepping in for the injured Jacob Hagan. Really a nice job there coming up and making the play.
Hagan out with an ankle injury, bad ankle injury, went out on a cart toward the end of the first half. 2nd down 6 after a 4-yard gain. Joel Boigneau in the backfield with Allen. Sideline route, caught. Adonis Jennings.
That's a long throw there for Austin Allen, but he does a great job of getting it out and the receiver coming back to the ball. So many times when you see young receivers coming out of college, or the reason guys get cut is because they wait for the ball. They don't come back to it, catching it with their hands.
I literally think that's the longest throw we've seen Austin Allen make today, all the way to the boundary.
12 completions for 91 yards for Allen. Across the middle, big ball, and it is caught with the feet down. Mobley caught the ball. The officials come together. Incomplete pass. 1 foot down. Good communication there with the officials.
Well, let's check it out because there was a nice drag mark. One. Oh, no, he didn't get the second one down.
Good eyes.
Yeah, really, Austin Allen, again, 2 great throws in a row. Actually, the first foot's out. 2 great throws on the money, just a touch too wide.
Would have been a 31-yard gain. Instead, incomplete pass. Allen is 12 for 24 in the air for 91 yards.
So a little look at umpire Kerry Killens, who's former player in the league, National Football League.
Yeah, former linebacker. They give it on the draw to Boigneau. It's that surge forward. Short gain. Clock ticks.
You know, Brian, one of the differences in the Alliance of American Football is underneath 5, the clock continues to run in the fourth quarter. It doesn't stop when the runner out of bounds until 2 minutes. So this underneath 5 really goes fast down to the 2-minute warning.
Birmingham player down. They've lost 3 today. Birmingham's had injuries in their defensive line as well. And Josh Frazier out for the game, had a knee injury. Xavier Dixon down with a knee injury, won't return. And we saw Jacob Hagan, what looked like a brutal injury at the end of that first half. Devin Taylor, the injured player.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, number 53, Devin Taylor there when he came out of South Carolina. Big, tall, angular man with a lot of athleticism, a lot of ability. And, you know, it's unfortunate he's hurt here. But this is what we're seeing is a lot of these guys an opportunity to go out and prove they deserve another opportunity to compete for jobs in the NFL.
We were just listening to the Salt Lake Stallions make adjustments here.
You got Ben, too.
And you could hear them talk about, you're going to have press here, look for this route, or you're going to have, you know, we're going to run this concept, look for this.
Well, I'll tell you, if it comes down to a kick to tie it, special teams has been a problem. Bad snap, missed opportunity for Salt Lake. This one, after a penalty, backed them up 5 yards, delay a game penalty. And then that one hooked to the left. 3 missed field goal opportunities, technically 2.
All right, gun spread right, Halu, Y option.
Bertollet has made one from 53 yards today.
Here we go, Brian. 3rd and 7 here. Big down.
Salt Lake down 3 with the ball. 2:47 left. Allen fires. Allen with the hit. He's got his big tight end, Anthony Denham. It's a first down.
You have to hurry up and get on the ball. No time to be celebrating here.
That was a great call there. Gun spread right. You spread everyone out. And you have the tight end run the option route on the linebacker that's used to covering. I mean, Allen didn't even take his eyes off him, and he was still wide open, Coach.
Yeah, we heard the play call there, so we knew it was going to be an option. Now, really, he's going to pick on leverage by the tight end.
Wait up.
Salt Lake still with 2 timeouts. Allen again, sideline, and it is knocked away, almost intercepted. That was Jack Tocho, who had it in his hands briefly, could have iced it.
Brian, this was caused by the pressure up front. You know, Allen got a defensive lineman right in his face. He wasn't able to really see the underneath coverage, and he hung the ball up there where he nearly had an interception.
How many times, Coach, have you seen a play where you almost intercept it, and then it goes bad for you on the next play?
Maurice, too many times.
Okay, me too. I was on that side with you, too.
I feel you.
Maybe one more play before the 2-minute warning. Allen got time. Dumps it down. Pearsonell. And Pearsonell to the 45. And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Salt Lake inching their way closer to the end zone. We got a good one here on TNT. You're watching the Alliance of American Football.
Our hardware and software creates an opportunity for fans to be able to play a digital game that we've created in real time for the first time, truly real time, unlike anything that exists.
We are building fantasy, but instead of a fantasy that is, based on the whole season or based on the weekend, it's fantasy that happens play by play. All of a sudden, you've gone from being the general manager of the team to being the coach of the team.
Startup League, great tech, week 2. Got a thriller here on TNT. You see the game summary. Salt Lake, the Stallions, coached by Dennis Erickson. Tim Lewis, coaching Birmingham. Second consecutive week on the road for Dennis Erickson's team. They have mishandled their special teams opportunities, but they are in a position to try to push this forward. 2 minutes remaining in regulation. 3rd and 4 here for Salt Lake.
Really big opportunity here, big down. We're obviously in 4-down territory now, so they're going to live and die on this possession right here.
Waiting! Wait up!
Austin Allen, good protection again. Allen, too tall, incomplete. Boy, he had his man open. That was Sam Mobley who was there, and Allen misfires. It'll be 4th and 4.
You have to be able to make that throw there. Your guy is, now that is wide open. That's not even open. That's wide open. He has 4-yard separation from the DB. Put it on his chest so he can catch it and maybe give you some run after the catch.
No question about it, Maurice. Here it is, 4th and 4 now. Ball game comes down right here. See the single high coverage by Birmingham.
Got to get to the 41. Allen closed down quickly. Passes up, incomplete. In and out of the hands of Denham. That was Max Redfield with coverage. And Birmingham will take over. Jonathan Massaquoi in the face of Austin Allen. The drive stalls for the Stallions. Great pressure from the iron. Birmingham ball to try to close it out.
I lost everyone. And so will you.
Who's ready to see some select set it off? Y'all give it up. When I say drop the, y'all say Mike.
You can't stop me, I'm a champion.
Logan!
Every battle is a knockout.
If you think you got me, Shaq, I say go ahead and try it. You haven't won without the help of Kobe Bryant.
Is this the best you got? Oh, stop being lazy. You can't beat me just like you couldn't beat Tom Brady.
Should thank me. See, I made auto-tune hot. Too bad you can't auto-tune your jump shot.
Method Man and Haley Bieber host Drop the Mic. All new Wednesdays at 10 on TNT.
Let me hear your battle cry!
And watch anytime on demand in the TNT app.
Boy, do we have some major housekeeping right here. So as we go to break, Birmingham looks to be getting the ball back. There is an unsportsmanlike penalty, a 15-yard personal foul. And Salt Lake will retain possession here. 1st and 10, a minute 49 remaining in regulation. Salt Lake with the ball down 3.
The Stallions have new life here. They've got the ball now at the 31-yard line, basically looking at about a 50-yard field goal if they don't gain another yard from this point here in the football game.
Well, what a huge penalty. Now Allen back to work. New life for the Stallions. And down on the corner, it's incomplete. Overshot his man, Anthony Denham.
I think the thing you see here in this football game, the tight ends in this drive have become up big, trying to work the ball outside and work against what they feel are the mismatches of this Birmingham defense.
Well, not only that, Coach, Austin Allen feels comfortable with a big target. And who's the biggest target on the field? The tight end. And so he's going to try to get to the ball to the tight end as many times as possible.
We see the trip set again, set over here to the defensive right, offensive left.
What's up?
No play. Whistles prior to the snap.
To the snap. False start. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty, second down.
So, Brian, this is a big play right here now, because now that takes them to, now we're looking at about a 53 or 54-yard field goal attempt, and we know how effective they've been today at this.
Coach, I'm going to tell you this much. If I'm Coach Erickson, we're not even trying to attempt a field goal. I'm telling them, listen, guys, we got to put it in the end zone, because we've been on the road twice. If we go into overtime, it's not in our favor.
3 failed opportunities at a field goal. Saw Taylor Bertollet there. He has hit from 53 today in the first half. And whistles preceding a 2nd and 15. Or penalties defining the finish of this game. Looked like Birmingham and Tim Lewis had the ball back to try to close it out. Salt Lake still with 2 timeouts. Just to set the clock here. 1:44 remaining in regulation.
Waiting.
2nd and 15.
Wait up.
Another one across the middle. It's Truesdale.
Nice job there by Austin Allen, and a great job there by Jack Tocho coming in and making the play. You know, Tocho was, on the practice squad for the Vikings this last season in 2018, really making a big play, big tackle, and now making it a 3rd down and long situation where Coach Erickson really going to have to, if they don't convert this, a big decision on 4th down.
Well, you heard it there. Smash X dig is a corner route with a 5-yard in.
Wait up.
Again, pressure. Allen wobbles, deflected, incomplete pass. There is a flag down, but I think the deflection will play big here. We'll see. On the pressure, it was Jeremy Falk who got the deflection at the line of scrimmage. Trey Blake.
I'm sorry, Brian. I think it would have come down to whether or not they held on defense prior to the ball being tipped.
There's no foul for defensive pass interference. The pass was tipped at the line of scrimmage. As though the play is 4th down.
Wow. And there he is again, Jeremy Falk.
I think Jeremy Falk will sleep pretty good tonight. Don't you think? He's been all over this field today.
He's very active.
He set the bar high, Coach, because guess what? Next week, we're going to expect that same type of performance or better.
No question about it. And that's what these guys are getting an opportunity to prove week in and week out. Do I deserve an opportunity? Can I step up to the plate each and every time?
Well, here is Taylor Bertollet, 48-yard attempt for the tie with 1:03 left. Colton Taylor, the snapper. Rico, the holder. Kick is up, and it is wide left, very wide. Another missed field goal, and Birmingham dodges another bullet. 4 missed opportunities on field goal attempts for Salt Lake. And Birmingham will have the ball, and they can close the door on this one.
Coach, he just pulled that one.
Yeah, he just overhit it, He's just hit it, just overhit it, And it's just a missed field goal attempt by him, just like his last one. It's 2 in a row that way.
If you're Coach Erickson, what do you say? Because you had 3 field goals that have missed.
I can tell you what I say.
Well, let me know. Just give me the G version.
I think we're looking for a new kicker next week. That's what
Coach,
I say.
All right.
That's what we do here.
Salt Lake has missed field goals on 3 of their last 4 possessions, plus a fumbled snap on a field goal attempt. And they're down 3. Give it to Richardson.
Listen, man, this is professional sports. Everybody has a job to do, and you got to expect that from everybody. And if we can't get it done, we have to keep trying and move on.
Well, we've seen it a lot in the AAF as well, where Mike Baravici from the San Diego Fleet gets replaced in the 3rd quarter. You're seeing guys get replaced here and there. Matt Asiata fumbles early in this game. We don't see him, but sparingly throughout the game. So understand that we talked about opportunities are given, not earned. When you get those opportunities, you have to really hold those in high regard and make sure that you do your best.
You really do. And because everybody's out there working extremely hard and grinding. And when you have your job and it's your job, your one and only thing is to make that kick.
That's right.
There are no kickoffs, so you have to make that kick.
Well, big play in this game was that muffed punt that turned into a touchdown for Birmingham. They trailed 9-0 going into the locker room at half. They've scored 12 unanswered. That big play came at the 9:23 mark of the third, down 9-0. Richardson again, and Salt Lake will use their final timeout. Sets up a third down here, 3rd and 5.
Brian, MJD related one of his early stories to me when he used to sit in those special teams meetings, and the special teams coach said, we might not win the game on special teams, but we certainly can't lose the game
that's what he
on
said.
special teams, and that's what happened with Salt Lake today.
Now Birmingham with a shutout last week. Week 2 storylines include the Hotshots of Arizona. They take on Memphis later tonight on NFL Network, and then you've got a matchup of unbeaten teams in Week 1 at the Alamo Dome. San Antonio against the Apollos. So it's 12-9. It's 3rd and 4 officially. Salt Lake just used their last timeout. And here's Richardson.
You saw quarterback Luis Perez bringing the receiver down inside there to block the defensive back Adonis Jennings, using him to come down inside. Excuse me, we'll get there. That was Damian Washington coming down inside with the motion to come in and block the support off the edge. Great job by him there.
About 5 seconds separating the play clock and the game clock. So Salt Lake is going to have one more chance to make some magic. And as the punt team will come on, we'll see if they actually put the ball in the air.
So Birmingham has one timeout left, Maurice. So do you go ahead and run the foul ball play here? I think they've worked on it.
You have to explain what the foul ball play is. It's where the quarterback drops back.
Quarterback's going to drop back, runs around, and he's going to throw the ball out of bounds. He's going to be out of the pocket, and he's going to throw the ball out of bounds 40 yards down the field.
That's what you're supposed to do here in this situation.
That's what they're going to try to do in this. Rather than mess around with the punt and so forth, a bad snap or anything like that, giving them the opportunity.
5-yard penalty.
So back them up with the delay game. And we will see what Birmingham will do. Perez on the sideline. They did send the punter, Colton Schmidt, out.
Coach Lewis, you better text other Coach Lewis, Tim, and tell him, hey.
Tim, don't mess around with this. The other thing they could do here is take the safety.
Cole Mazza is this long snapper. It's a good one. And they do kick it away. And this is Pearsonell. Does he have some magic here? Time is expired. Pearsonell's got to take it the distance. And that's it. And it's a win for Birmingham. Improbable victory for the Iron. That's going to do it for our coverage of the Alliance today. For Marvin Lewis and Maurice Jones-Drew, I'm Brian Anderson. The rest of our Alliance crew, so long from Birmingham, Alabama. The Iron go to 2-0.
You remember the Black Dahlia? America's most famous murder.
TNT's I Am the Night is a must-see TV drama.
I got the A-bomb, and it's primed and ready. This girl, she's the key.
And now you can watch anywhere, anytime with TNT On Demand and the TNT app.
The truth can't stay in the dark forever.
I'll blow this thing wide open.
I Am the Night. All new Mondays at 9 on TNT.
This is our time, ladies. And I'm taking over. How about that?
Do not let her make you believe things you know aren't true.